In today's episode, entitled Sexy T-Rexy, the crew finally ventures inside of Greylock after hearing of its horrors from everyone outside. They reconnect with Kat, get some information, and formulate the best plan in creation. This is a great episode, I think. We had a lot of fun, and we really hope you enjoy. Yeah, so recap of last episode. We did a bunch of talking stuff.
Bought a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Learned
Purchases
a lot
were
of
made.
exposition.
Did a lot
And
of
Lily
exposition.
made moonshine.
Lily made moonshine for the Camp Vanilla selves. Yes, everything is bad and wrong, and that was the theme of the last episode.
Lily should totally be Camp Vanellis' favorite person right now, just saying.
Camp Vanellis doesn't it doesn't take much for Camp Vanellis. Sin, are you here? You're the one I haven't heard talk.
I'm here, yeah.
Okay, cool. Making sure. Alright, Mooshnik was uncharacteristically silent during all of this, but he learned a lot.
He
I'm
was
sure.
just totally smashed out of his mind.
Yeah, he was. He was fine. Yeah, Davynn united with Stohana, which is always fun and entertaining.
Reunited's a word.
Tattoos. Tattoos were generated. Yeah, so it was a good episode.
Xylund gave a very awful last message.
To his sister.
You guys didn't get those letters I wrote. They're only to be found
Not
in the
yet.
event that I die.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say Lily's gonna feel like a very conflicted mix of guilty and affection and exasperated and just all kinds of weirdness if she ever gets that letter.
Yeah, Xylund is pretty, is definitely trying to make you guys cry in his own way. Like, he thinks those are the most heart-tugging, letters he's capable of. Like, they're gonna bawl so hard when they read this.
They might be the most heart-tugging things he's ever written, to be fair.
Yeah.
True.
We don't have any troll listeners. No one knows what you're talking about.
I will
Our
stand my
listeners,
ground.
they are true fans.
No, that's no way.
We love them all,
The Brazilian is real.
and we adore them. And we're gonna come visit.
And
see
we're
the
gonna learn
fish.
Portuguese.
We're gonna learn Portuguese to go.
I
Bad
know one phrase in
Portuguese.
Portuguese, and that's it.
Well, see, we've already started. We're doing well.
Is it, Michael, is it how to ask for the bathroom or how to ask for a beer?
No, it's está correcto or no? Is that correct
Ooh.
or not? And I only know that from Archer.
Possibly not the best place to learn anything.
Yes, clearly. How to get ants, how not to get ants. Archer is the best place.
Where the
Okay.
danger zone is?
Yeah, the danger zone. Burt Reynolds.
Yes, it's everywhere.
All right, so we actually have a game to play, so we should probably do that. Yeah, we can pick up where we left off. Everyone had pretty much bedded down for the night. I believe everyone was in Camp Vanellis, unless Kern and Xylund opted to stay with the Church of Inaline.
No, I would.
Now we were just getting tatted up.
All right.
I don't think I would have been welcome there after I.
You didn't make many friends. That's for darn sure. These are forgiving people.
At least at Camp Finalis, they understand me.
Camp Vanellis adores you. Camp Vanellis, yeah, you're definitely an honorary member of Vanellis. The only one who can handle their drugs as well as they do. So yeah, everyone had a pleasant night at Camp Vanellis with relative degrees of pleasantness. And we will pick up the next morning with y'all awaking, and again, it is your call. What it is you'd like to do, where do you want to go? What business you'd like to conduct?
I'd like to track down Stohana real quick.
Again, it's easy. It's a small camp.
Oh no!
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that, but yes, this is going to be great.
And considering Xylund...
Wait, hold on. How early is this?
I was gonna say, considering Xylund
Early,
doesn't really
because-
sleep.
I didn't sleep at all last night either. The
We've
dawn
hardly
happened
started
and I was
and
up.
Yuri's already cackling.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
Yeah. So Stohana, as Stohana is sort of the leader of this particular exposition, she is the only one with a private tent. Everyone else pretty much shares or bunks up. So yeah, Stohana is the only one with besides the Decimeter that they're escorting, is the only one with her own room.
Okay.
And therefore easy to locate.
I will knock on the tent flap before going in.
Oh god!
Like a split second before going in.
Davynn, I will give you one perception roll to see if you notice.
You know what my perception is going.
I know, that's why I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
Hey! That's not bad, that's not bad. So you have, a split second. Hang on. Apparently she's not going to stop.
Oh.
Must be the postman. So yes, you have mere moments to collect yourself and arrange yourself in whatever manner you wish.
So I don't know it's Xylund coming in, so my
No.
immediate first thought is to hide.
Okay.
Because
So
I'm
do I
like, wait, what if this is a scandalous thing that we've just done? Interracial and all that.
Okay. So, really the only, because they don't travel with furniture, being who they are. So really the bedding is all that you have. Like, she literally has a glorified sleeping bag with a little bit of extra blanket on top. Because they're a little further north than their normal home. So yeah,
Good,
hiding
hide
under the
sleeping
blanket
bag.
is really all that you have.
Alright, well, if that's all I've got, I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and just cover myself up a little bit and face the door.
Okay, so Xylund, you enter Stohana's tent with Stohana, who did hear you coming.
Being an elf.
Yes, being very aware of her surroundings, and so is at least modestly clothed. Not fully clothed, but when does she ever? But at least modestly clothed. It does not seem surprised to see somebody walking into her tent, and just to the other side of her is is Davynn desperately arranging blankets to cover himself in the best manner that he can.
And then I'll say it's Xylund, and then I'll relax and I drop the blankets.
Okay.
Oh shit! Hide your shame.
Not all of them, just the ones where I'm trying to hide all the magic scale signs
okay.
on me.
What did you crazy kids get up to last night then?
That's top secret. Xylund, even from you. What do you want?
Oh, I was looking for a General Meta. Hey, high five, Davynn.
Davynn just looks at him and is like, later.
Now.
Is she around?
No. It's just a small band of us. She stayed behind. Why? What do you need?
Well, I thought that she probably would have been into the city by now to do General Meta type stuff if she was around.
No. She stayed behind at the camp. We're not exactly 100% there yet. And she and the Deckham, they don't get along very well.
Who are the
So-
Deckham?
Big bads. Real high up in the church. That's why we're here.
Wait, what? Which church?
The church.
I can fill you in on this later.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna leave me hanging as far as the high five goes there, buddy?
Okay,
Being as much
fine.
as
I
Davynn
get
is
up
right
and
now.
I go over and high five him.
Yeah, I give him a slap on the ass.
On his blue scaled ass.
Yeah. All right. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which isn't much.
And Stefan just kind of laughs. You are a little late, sir. Again, my tit. She just kicks a barefoot at you.
All right, I leave. I quickly go to find anyone to tell them the news.
All right, roll a
Well,
perception.
God.
Lily's probably awake and reading right now, so.
Where's my character sheet? Perception.
Oh, wasted all these now.
You have your pick. You can you see the various members of your party, Mooshnik included, at various points throughout this little encampment. So yeah, you
I'll-
have your absolute pick.
I'll go over to Kern then.
Okay.
Kick him awake.
Oh,
Kern!
no.
Oh, God.
Davynn bangs Johanna. He's in the tent right now.
Wait, what?
Should go make him poop himself or something. It'd be hilarious.
Nah. I don't think that would work. I don't think that'd be like too tactful. But
Well,
Really?
No, it wouldn't be tactful. Yeah.
yeah, that's exciting. Little
Yeah.
boys growing up.
Anyway, spread the word.
Oh, definitely.
Oh god.
And so I will. So what I just imagine is this is like a diverging tree where like one person knows, and then two people split off, and four
Oh
people.
yeah. This is this is very high school lunch hours spinning through the
Man,
tables.
it's like whisper down the lane, basically.
yeah. Yeah.
Although by the time it gets to like a certain number of people, it's the story's changed from, yeah, that guy from Whitfeld had an orgy with Johanna and like all the other Campanella elves.
And the other Campanella elves is like, what? I wasn't there.
Exactly. The Campanellas are not—they're not really phased by this. Like this is.
Why wasn't I invited?
Well, the thing is, I think that tree just like stops at our immediate party because nobody
Yeah.
else cares.
Yeah, the Campanella elves could give less. They're like okay. I mean, and we're also assuming that Lana didn't get laid either, because Lana could have had her pick. That's just it. That's just the way it goes.
She probably was busy and is definitely corrupting the rumor tree in the morning.
All right.
So if anyone comes to her, she's going to be like, well, he's been doing this the whole time.
So now that Davynn's conquest has been spread throughout the party,
Why? Why are we doing this?
One in a row.
the gods clearly want this to go forward, Kern. I don't know why you're so upset.
Davynn is
I'm just
Davynn,
saying, like, we're about to go into Greylock and we're gonna have to sneak around
Yep.
a dragon.
Yeah.
Natural 20s would be really nice at
No,
that point.
this is clearly more important. This
I'm
is
just-
clearly more important.
I just want to say that Davynn is probably no longer going to be known for his heroics. Now he's going to be known for something else.
Heroics.
Every
Heroics.
town, some new lass approaches Davynn, having heard tales of his
Yeah, his
conquest.
prowess.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is gonna be
That
great.
is awful.
No, it's the best. It's
Alright,
the
I'm
best.
Oh.
coming out of the tent, fully dressed, and playing it cool. Because as far as I know, nobody but Xylund knows.
Please roll performance for that, or deception. Please roll deception for that, because you are not cool. There we go.
I mean,
And then the streak breaks.
I will start a round of applause.
Alternatively,
slow clap.
giggling, alternatively giggling and like looking shiftily about.
I can only imagine just how beat red Davynn would be having to walk into a camp.
if I
He
see something
knows.
outside, outside the tent, starting a slow clap. I'm going to walk back inside.
And Sahana comes out next. Of course, the vanilla cells are starting to break their food out a little bit. It's nothing awesome, but they share what they have, of course, because you guys are family now and all that good stuff. And Sahana doesn't come after you, Davynn, so you can spend as much time in her tent as you wish. But in general, the entire encampment is starting to wake up a little bit. You can hear the sound of, that early morning movement that markets have and things like that when people start to wake up and get about their business. Although it has a much more somber tone in this particular scenario. You can still sort of smell traces of smoke in the air from last night. And there's that weird sort of clingy haze that just still wafts above the city.
Davynn seems to have learned something about what's going on. He said he'd fill us in later, so maybe we should go into the tent, because he doesn't seem like he's going to come out.
I'll go get him.
I give whatever's left of the moonshine to the Campanalis elves as a parting gift.
As soon as
Oh, you're
Davynn comes out of the tent again, I'm going to start the slow clap again.
I'll go in and be like, I promise Xylund just being a dick. He won't slow clap again.
I'm totally going to slow clap.
Alright, as I walk out, I look around to see if anybody else around is human and not in our party.
No.
Alright, Xylund, I need you to make a save for me.
What? What kind of save?
Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god. I think I get a +2 to this.
Oh shit, he's getting reduced.
Oh no! No! What are you doing?
I'm just gonna, look down at him and just nod and keep on going. So anyways...
You dick!
Yeah, got some new information to share. Pick him up, put him on my shoulder.
Not cool! Not cool!
I love how his voice is higher too. Lily's just gonna nod at Davynn at that.
And I guess I'll just fill everybody in on make sure that everybody knows all the information that we learned from last time about why Fidelis is here and all that. And also our probable mission to go inside of Greylock.
Yeah. Didn't we got permission to go in, right? Last time.
Oh,
we
yeah,
got a
you got a
written
pass.
Yeah.
You got a pass
And
from Clan Ripper.
And I've got a GTFO, if necessary, scroll.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I believe you keyed that to Eileen's camp.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Word of her call.
Mm-hmm.
Not lie, I still wish to speak with this Deccan, but apparently she's one to boil your blood if you look at her sideways.
Yeah. But I'm sure we'll run into her eventually. If things get really hairy, she'll come out. But
I'm
most
not
part-
sure.
sorry, what?
I'm not sure if we'll be thankful if we do run into her.
Yeah. But who knows? If we get all this stuff done, Fidelis might be so thankful that you might be able to get a audience with her.
So long as my insides don't become my outsides, sure.
Yes. Yeah. I guess. That would not be a good thing.
So,
Anywho,
what's up?
so
Go ahead.
Davynn just filled us in on everything.
Twinki, are you aware of everything since you missed last session?
Nope. But Mooshnik's not really one for the details. He's
That's
just following
true.
along and making sure everyone stays safe. Especially those two girls who keep getting into trouble.
Okay.
That's fair. We do get into a lot of trouble.
Comparatively, though.
Yeah.
We're also the squishiest people in the party, so.
His first game, he was chasing a girl who turned to a mole and got kidnapped. The next game, the other sister was being chased by the big bad and slapped in the face by him a lot.
Yeah. Lily was definitely not comfortable with constantly being like, I'm gonna go over here. Oh, cool, me too.
Mooshnik is worried for your
We're
well-being and wondering why those other
We're
bastards aren't doing a good enough job taking care of you.
Okay, well, the reduce spell only lasts for a minute, so just
I will-
as
Suddenly
As a
you've got a
reminder.
fully armored paladin on your shoulders.
yes, for
How-
1 minute.
Eventually, I will let him down.
Okay.
Well, how small am I when I'm?
You're like halfling size, I think.
Yeah,
half-size?
basically, yeah. You get reduced to one category size larger, and you're shrunk down.
Okay. Well,
And-
while I'm on his shoulder, I'm gonna, stick my wet finger in his ear and shit like that.
As Davynn tries to update the crew.
Yeah.
There's Xylund being a dork. All right, but
So
eventually,
yeah, Vanalis is here because stop it. We're here because stop it.
You brought this upon yourself.
So, what's our next course of action then? I know we're going inside Greylock, but is there
I think
anything
that's
else
it.
we need to do? Perhaps. I
What do
don't
we need
know,
to do when we're in there? We need to find Kat and Isali and see what the hell's going on and see what they need done / if they need rescuing from what was it, Xylund?
Bonds of Despondency.
Bonds of Despondency.
Snap,
yes.
snap, 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 snap.
That's just Nisali, though. I don't know what's going on with Kat. She has my dragon helm, though. Put that on.
Correct.
This dragon helm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Kern, but didn't you also spy Bowen somewhere in Greylock? Would it not be prudent to rescue her as well? I imagine the High Priestess of Ninimeth would always be useful.
I think we should just close that chapter in our history and never talk about it again.
No,
Mistakes are
no,
made.
that's an entirely good point, Lily. We should try to find her if we can.
Not only that, but I, have a vested interest in her survival.
I think
Yeah,
I
same.
did scry her. I think it was like 2 sessions ago.
you did.
Yeah,
You
she
describe
was
her.
in some like collapse building, like just kind of huddling to herself.
And
Well-
bloodied up.
Gale's coming with us, aren't you, Gale? Is Gale back here yet?
No, Gayle didn't sleep at Vanalis.
Oh, goddammit. I'll go fetch Gale. You guys plan what we're doing. I'll go get Gale.
So we're going into Greylock. We're going to find Kat and Nisali. They're probably going to be in the same place. Probably at the Argent Order building or the palace or something.
And perhaps we could check the building where the Church of Derelai was and see if that one's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a way of scouting ahead in the city? Because we don't entirely know what's going on there.
Well,
I can
once we
turn
get
people
into the city,
invisible, or into
I can-
birds,
once we get
Yeah.
into the
or
city,
fly.
I can resummon my familiar and he can scout for us.
That works too.
Granted, I'll need somebody to lead me along while as I will be deaf and blind while I'm looking through her senses.
I can locate people within the city if I'm close enough.
Yes, and I'll keep an eye out for any danger in our vicinity.
And plus, we do kind of know the way to all the places, so we don't really have to worry about pathfinding so much.
Well, and I'll be able to let us know if there's any obstacles or obstructions that may have caused from any damages to the city that may have happened since the last time you were here.
Okay, well, sounds good to me then. Sounds
Like-
like we have a plan. We just need to get everybody together and get going.
We will need to just give up 10 minutes once we're inside and out of sight, though.
You could probably do it here. I mean, I'm-
I'm not willing to risk it. There are churches everywhere, Davynn.
well, yeah, but did you just see what I did to Xylund?
Which was really
Yes.
funny, by the way.
Which didn't take very much time.
Camp Analysis is cool. Don't worry.
Well, the same. There are other camps around here that could be walking around. And this is a very involved magical ritual that takes 10 minutes and has a lot of visuals.
Okay. Alright, if that's what you think is best.
Yes, it won't take too much time. Just 10 minutes once we're in is all.
Okay, so if we're going into Greylock, anything that would be helpful to prep or, like spell-wise?
Mass cure wounds.
By the way, Eerie,
Mm-hmm.
I have that, yeah.
could I have taken a couple of hours last night to have inscribed the Catharos sleep spell into my book?
You'd have to, excuse me, understand the Catharos sleep spell.
Okay. How do I go
First.
about doing that? Would that just be spending time studying
It's
it
just
every
going to
night?
be time, yeah, because it's not a system of magic that you're familiar with. It's not going to be as simple as just putting in the time and having the spell in your book. It's going to take some serious study, because their form of magic is specific to their order. Yeah, it's going to take you a while.
Okay.
That's something
Well,
you have
then
to put some time into.
then I'll have spent some time last night and then this morning waiting for everybody to wake up studying it then.
Okay. All right. So, Xylund, you went to go get Gayle?
Yeah.
All right. From his duties at the temple, / tent of Daralai,
Yep.
who is very, very busy.
It's never too busy for me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you find him tending to his duties as normal, looking tired and harried, as does everyone else in the makeshift hospital under Daralai.
What are you still doing here? I thought we talked about this. These people are fucked. Concentrate on the living.
Shh. Can you not? He
Well-
walks you outside the tent. Can you not talk about people being fucked in front of people?
All right. I got you outside, didn't it? So let's go.
Go?
Yeah, we're going into the city.
Why?
Adventure? You never did really answer whether you want to keep traveling with us, I don't think. Do you want to keep traveling with us?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I do, but
so let's
not-
go.
Oh. Okay.
What's the problem?
No problem.
Nope, you can talk to me, Gayle.
No. The city is scary. It's not like it was.
Yeah, I gathered that, but you'll have me. When have I ever steered you wrong?
Never mind. We don't. It's not a discussion for right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess.
Have you learned any
What?
cool new spells since we've last been together?
I've studied a little bit. Nothing that's gonna. I don't know.
I'm thinking more about you, like any kind of protection type spells to.
I can
If you-
protect myself.
All right, good.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
What?
We might be heading to the Daralai temple to see if we can find Bowen, so we can use your help there.
Bowman's not in the mount.
Oh, where is she?
I'm not sure, but she's not in the mount.
Okay.
That was the first thing I asked when I came home.
Huh. Well,
I
we'll
don't
sort
think
that
there's
out.
anybody at the mount really, other than a few guards for the archive.
Well, I guess we'll just sort of stumble around until it all becomes clear, like usual.
All right. I just warned you. Just remember.
Yeah, I got it. Not like it used to be. I made a mental note. I won't sue you, Gayle. I understand risks.
So Gayle follows you. Reluctantly, as always, back to the crew, who is, finalizing their plans, making their last-minute entreaties to the gods.
I found
Yeah.
Gayle. Let's hear it for Gayle. I start another clap.
Once we get into Greylog, Lily's actually going to take 20 minutes here. Don't know if you saw. The first one for the Find Familiar ritual, and the second one to establish the telepathic bond between everybody.
No, I did miss it.
I'll go ahead and just throw that up so everyone can see it. But essentially, I can make it so that all of us can communicate silently over any distance instantaneously.
Yeah, I know how telepathic bond works.
Well, just for everybody else's cognizance.
Yes.
Just so that they keep it in their head that at any time, even if you get separated, you can be like, guys, help! Or something.
Found a cool thing. Should we touch it? Okay, already done.
Everybody's
Exactly.
gonna
It's
be
also-
doing the thing where they touch their ear as if there's an earpiece, but there isn't
Yes,
actually one.
of course.
And
I
it's
would expect
also-
nothing less.
And it's also completely quiet, so we can formulate plans and talk and yell at each other without having to worry about alerting enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could alert the enemies.
Let's not.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we ready to go?
Everybody cool?
Yeah. Alright,
Yes, I
so
think-
plan is find Bowen, or find Sally and Kat. Hopefully find Bowen. We'll get killed by the scary ass dragon.
Oh yeah.
And
That should be fine.
Oh yeah, by the way, Twinki, there's a dragon in the city.
It changes colors.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
yes, so, is there any chance that we can go quietly? I know that I'm not very good at sneaking around, and I know that, both Kern and Xylund are rather loud, but does
I have the
anybody have
nuclear
anything?
option where we silence ourselves, but then we
Yes,
won't be
but
able to
then-
hear either.
And
Exactly.
and I won't be able to cast.
I'm not terrible at that. It's just I'm not the best. Really,
Likewise,
Ulrich was our guy for that.
Mooshnik, do you
I can stealth
happen to
more than you'd expect because
Mushnik-
bard, but
do you happen to have what was that spell? It's a druid one. Pass without a trace. That's it.
No, why would I want to be passing places without a trace? I feel the best way to go through life is to make a mark on it. So many people want to disappear, and the world will just swallow them up, and they'll never appear in history again. But me,
Yes,
I'd like to think I'm going to make a mark somewhere. And I'm
Yes,
going to make
but
that
I-
mark first by making sure I leave a trace. Usually
Yes,
that
but we
trace is a little
really,
bits of mushroom I
really-
leave behind me.
Mooshnik,
Hmm? What?
we really don't want to be seen here.
Oh!
It's
And I don't
dangerous.
want my mark to be on the side of a wall outlined in dragon fire.
And
The
I'd
answer's
also
still
prefer.
no.
I'd also prefer my mark not to be intestines on the ground, outside my body.
Okay, now look. Intestines make for really good sausage casings.
Sure, but I don't want to eat mine.
You don't know how well you taste.
Man has a point.
Look,
Of course
and I'm
I
not
do.
looking to find out. I can't
Mm.
really live without them.
So we
can
don't have access to stealth. Long story short,
I again, my stealth's not bad, and I can go
Let's just
invisible.
let
other
Lana
than Lana,
go
yeah.
for it.
Very well.
I
Well,
mean, worst case scenario, I just bring you back. And you follow me around for a bit till you fall apart.
I'm gonna look to Lana.
Okay,
at this
I don't like
point.
that idea.
I'm gonna look to Lana and just be like, so I know we haven't talked, but if he ever brings me back as a zombie, please just destroy my body.
No worries. And then
Well, that's
him.
rude.
I'll get to you first. Have you got
Thank you.
Revivify prepared?
Thank you, Kern. I appreciate that. I'd rather not be anybody's undead servant for however long I'd last.
It's not servitude, it's friendship.
So
Okay, let's get into the
Here-
city before we go too
here's-
far down
here's
this
It's
rabbit hole.
magical friendship.
if we can't actually sneak around and be sneaky, we still have a lot of things that we could do to scout ahead and try to avoid trouble, regardless.
Yes, and like
Yeah.
I
So
said,
why don't we just
once-
do that?
Okay.
Yes, like I said, once I summon my familiar, we'll be able to do a lot of very easy scouting. I just need to be led.
Hi, Gayle. How's it going? Glad to have you back.
Are we
Oh,
still in the
God.
camp? We haven't even left yet?
No, you guys haven't gone anywhere. You've been.
God damn it, what are we still doing here?
Can we
go!
retroactively say that this conversation was happening as we were walking and talking?
Yeah,
Well,
it's a bit late
no.
for that.
Yeah, it's a bit late. Let's go.
All right,
Let's go.
walk and talk. Let's go.
Power walk.
God.
But let's do it all in a straight line
Yeah.
and in slow-mo.
We gotta hide our numbers. No. We gotta go like one behind each other. So.
yeah, you gotta do it.
Or were you talking about like the Top Gun walkout scene?
The top
Gun
walkout.
walkout.
Okay. Yes, I agree with that.
Mystery Man Hero Walk. All right, so you guys are headed towards the gate. Now there is only a singular gate now. Before the edges of Greylock was very open with sort of the poorer sections of the city, to the Warren, like it was called. But all of that has been sealed off by this massive stone wall that the clerics are continually building and edifying and fortifying over and over and over and over again. They don't all appear to be clerics, though some are dressed as druids, and they are distinctly different between the two. But as you sort of make your way along the wall, you can get to the singular gate, which is guarded by 4 members of the Argent Order in full-on armor.
Flash our badges so fast that they can't really see them, just to fuck with them.
Yeah, we've got passes that are signed. We can just
I
flash the
know.
passes.
I won't let them read them. I'll just like hold them up and then put them back down.
I'm standing, like, I'm trying to keep Kern between myself and any of them at any time.
They
Grand
don't
business.
appear to be impressed. Go ahead.
Grand in business. Let us pass.
Mm.
Well, also we have a pass from the Argent Order. Hey,
Shh.
We're here on order business.
and Grennan, and Eileen, and
Yes.
Holly, and just everything.
We're here on
There's
important
so many
business.
reasons that
Lots
we
of
could go
people want us to get through this gate right now, and you're the only ones that are keeping us from getting through this gate.
Are we just doing this without them responding to it?
Yeah, we just turned this into a confrontation without anything.
Exactly. They haven't
It's
said
and it's
word.
a one-sided confrontation too. Like they're just standing there looking at us, and we're just like,
Yeah, this
filling in their
you guys are
confrontation role.
escalating your own situation. They haven't been aggressive at all.
You want to fight? Huh?
Exactly.
On guard.
We'll throw down right now.
and meanwhile they're just like, yeah, you can go in. Just
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, one of them does step forward and does ask you for a pass.
All right. Well, I'll show him my pass, I guess.
All right. Which he doesn't. I mean, he takes it to look at it, then he gives it back to you, and makes a little hand gesture, and the large wooden doors that have been set within the stone are opened by folks on the other side, presumably, because you don't see them. But they are opened, and you're allowed to go through. And as you pass, the one who took a look at your pass does say to the crew in general that the witch passed through not too long ago, so mind yourselves.
Which one?
The witch?
Which?
Cat?
Probably the Deckham, actually.
Who?
The high priestess that Vanalis was escorting, probably her.
Oh.
Oh, right. Okay,
Miss
gotcha.
Inside's on the
Hey,
outside.
that's rude. That's part of their culture.
That gets a raised eyebrow from the original
Davynn.
order.
Davin, I realized that all your blood is not yet in your brain, but let's go.
But you are able to pass through into the city of Greylock, which you have been long absent from. This is the first visit for Mooshnik, Lana, and Lily.
I was about to say, first time for some of us.
Yep, first time.
Yay.
First time from Mooshnik and the ladies, but a welcome back for the rest of you. And immediately stepping past the threshold into sort of the ramshackle wooden buildings of the Warrens, Gayle was not exaggerating. This place is significantly different. It is, first of all, dead quiet, which is strange for such a close-knit people living on top of each other sort of section of town. The cobblestone and sort of timber-lined streets are empty. And there's the barest whisper of fog that sort of clings to your ankles as you walk through. But there's no foot traffic. There's no lights on in the storefront windows. There's no stalls. There's no open market. You don't even see guards as you walk through sort of this first block of stores and living areas. It looks very much the ghost town.
You know, I never expected to actually come here, but now that I have, this is somewhat depressing.
It's
Usually
been
a
a
lot.
while since I've been in a place, but our town's supposed to be more lively.
There's a bit of
Yeah.
a catastrophe going on there, Mooshnik.
Oh,
Sister, can I have my accoutrement back now?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm gonna dig around in the bag of holding.
Get all my stuff back. Are we out of sight of the gate currently, Erie?
Yeah, as you sort of leave the threshold and kind of walk down this first block of the Warrens, you can hear the heavy thud of the wood behind you. It has a queer sort of echo. It's like it's muted. And once you get past the first rise of the street, you could very easily duck into an alley and be completely out of sight. There are no guards or any living soul, actually, that you can see outside.
Right, so both these rituals will take about 20 minutes, but they will greatly aid our ease of movement here. And
Sounds
I'm
good.
going to start off with the Find Familiar, just to give the telepathic bond a longer shelf life. And I'm going to summon this time a snowy white owl.
Ah, owls.
And as soon as it's summoned, it's going to fly high in the sky and out of Xylund's grasping hands.
Okay, your owl seems to have problems once it hits about 10 feet above your head. It seems to struggle. But it is able to fly out of reach. But it seems to be almost like it's trying to fly through like soup almost. It visibly sort of dips against a strong wind that you don't feel.
Well, that's concerning. Don't worry, my dear. You won't need to fly too high today.
While Lily is doing this, can I also take some time to play with the Dragon Orb to get myself more familiar
Absolutely.
with what it could do?
Yeah, you are totally able to focus on the Dragon Orb. The Dragon Orb feels very different from the last time you held it. It's that little sparking sensation that sort of ran through your hand the last time is triple what it was the last time you touched it. It almost feels like it's a heartbeat against your palm. It's it's very different from the last time you handled it. It seems like it's almost woken up.
That's slightly concerning. Last time I realized I could use it to shut up some of the shadow dogs. Do I have any idea of how to get the specifics on like how many times I can use that, etc.? How long it would take?
You would need someone who had the ability to analyze artifacts.
All right.
Yeah, I can do that.
Artifacts, not magical items.
Oh,
Oh,
I can pretend to do that.
can I do that then?
Do you have legend lore?
Oh no, I have identify.
No, identify is good
I've
for
got
magical
legend lore.
items. But you would
Today?
need legend lore.
No, because it costs a whole bunch of like stupid expensive components,
It
and I
is. It's
thought
a-
that we weren't going
Yeah.
to be needing that, so I unprepped
Yeah,
it for
same.
today.
We'll put that on the list of stuff to get later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after the familiar summon, I'm gonna establish the telepathic bond, which is another 10 minutes.
Right. So, Davynn, you have plenty of time to sort of sit and you feel, again, it is a very disquieting sensation to feel this thrumming in the palm of your hand. But it's not frightening. Like you don't feel as if you're losing control of it. You feel a little more powerful than you did before. But it is an odd sensation. You may not know the ins and outs of it, but you feel like you could command it if you wanted to.
I'll save that possibly until I figure out what I can command it to do. I don't want to give it the command and then have it blow up everything.
Right.
Yeah,
It does.
see?
You're not sure
Trust
exactly
Davynn.
what it will do, but you're pretty confident you could make it do something.
Davynn is trustworthy. So yeah, once the bond is established, Lily is going to focus on the connection between her and everybody, and just kind of project, testing. Can everyone hear me?
Oh my god! Wow! Yeah, that's so clear. You're not even talking or anything. He says out
Davynn.
loud.
Wait,
You
does
can
this
do
mean
this in
Mooshnik
your-
can just talk into our heads?
Oh no.
You know, the last time I had someone cast a spell like this,
God damn it,
it
Lily.
was quite some time ago. They
I
were-
can't even
you know,
silence this. There's
I
nothing
don't
I can
remember
know.
what it was they were doing.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it-
can blame my sister for letting him know.
Damn it, Lana.
I think he would have figured it out.
Look, this is a
Lana.
tactical advantage, but I wasn't going to be the one that told him he could
I'll
speak
turn
his
it into
mind.
passive
This-
if I have to.
so-
I'm not
so
above
this-
that.
So Lily is now targeting her comments specifically to Lana and Kern and leaving the rest of the group out. Look, this is a tactical advantage. I wasn't
get it,
going to tell
I
him.
understand. Wouldn't he figure it out when we started talking into his head?
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay, either way, I think Xylund wants to fly up into the soup, so...
Let's go.
Oh, by the way, watch out for invisible fires.
Gotcha.
What?
Oh yeah. Yeah, by the way, the city's on fire, but you can't see the fire.
Noted. Okay, let's go.
All right. So we're levitating Xylund.
I think he wanted to explore the soup.
I've got night goggles. I pull my night goggles over my eyes.
All
In the
right.
middle of the day.
In the middle of the day,
In the
yes.
middle
Well,
of the day.
it's foggy and misty and shit.
It is. It is.
Night goggles will help with that.
Okay. So how far up are you going?
As far as I can.
Let's see.
I don't know if the range keeps... I don't know if that's the casting range or the overall range.
You can change the
the
target's
ra-
altitude by 20
can go-
feet.
20 feet in any direction.
Each round, I believe.
Right.
So I'll just keep throwing him upwards until he signals to come down.
Okay.
I mean, he can now talk telepathically, so he can tell us everything
Exactly,
that.
so he can go way up there.
Okay,
You rise up. Directly.
Keep a lookout for anything around us, by the way. Bye.
Bye.
As
So
soon as
you
she
are.
says that, I'm gonna put a hand on Kern's shoulder, go into my familiar, and then just start flying around the area as high as the owl, which I have yet to name, can go. Just keep an eye out.
Alrighty. Again, the owl has a very difficult time navigating. She can only get so far, and then it's almost like she gets caught in a cloud bank. And Xylund, as you rise up, first all you see is the buildings of the Warren, and then as you kind of crest those rooftops, as you go higher and higher up, you can see more of the expanse of the rest of Greylock. And further on towards the heart of the city, you see that the clouds have begun to hang very low, that they're clustered around the spires of Keracht, and that off to the west towards the harbor, there is indeed a haze of what looks like old smoke. It's a darker gray that sort of leaks out just barely over the Diplomat Bridge, but seems to sort of center on the harbor itself.
Okay.
And you can't really see the buildings of the old city. The more you look towards the center, towards the cut, all you see is the mist rising. You can't. Normally, Greylock is as you know, is a very brightly lit place. The sun hits the Geshel stones and gets reflected back, so everything has sort of a bright sheen to it. And even though the sun is clearly overhead, everything seems to be sort of shrouded in fog. You don't see the characteristic shimmer that you would associate with the old stone buildings of the old city.
So I don't see any signs of like noticeable habitation where people might be clustered in huddled terror or anything like that.
Since you're so high up, all you really can, as you look towards the center of the city, all you really see is the mist, and so it's very difficult to see the ground. You see the fog, and you see the smoky haze from the harbor, but if there are people in the city, they are clearly below that cloud bank sort of thing that's blanketing the entire city.
Do I have any control over this levitation, or is Lana just basically
Lana's
shooting me up?
controlling it.
Okay. Well, I'll just see if I can get out the top.
You have a telepathic link with her, so if you want to...
I'll just keep saying higher.
Okay.
All right.
So you continue to push your way further up and further up and further up, and of course the ground gets less defined, and all you can really see now are the tops of the tallest buildings, so like the Mount and the Trade House and the Opera House, and of course Keracht itself. The tallest spires of Keracht are about all you can see now, with the Elbum Rise mountains sort of silhouetted in the background.
And you did say that the mist is clustered, most concentrated around the Keracht, right?
Keracht seems to be a focal point, yeah.
Okay.
It's difficult to see anything in the old city because it all has that haze to it.
Right.
But it seems like the largest cloud bank is sort of swirling its way around Keracht. And then over the harbor itself, there's that darker gray, that haze that reminds you of old campfire.
Right. Gotcha.
Which you can smell from up here. It's that smell of old burning wood. So now all you can see are the towers of the tallest buildings, and with your night goggles on, you can see through the gloom. And perched, wrapped around the tallest spire of Keracht, is a very large, almost see-through dragon.
Almost see-through dragon.
Mm-hmm. You can see clouds moving behind it. You can almost see the sparkle of the sea beyond, as the colors shift and patterns sort of flow over it.
I'll relay that down to the ground. So, dragon.
Dragon.
Okay.
I'm going
that.
to kind of project everyone. Is there a chance that this is either some accidental creation of Nasali or Nasali herself?
We have no idea.
We will see one way or another. One
Do you
way,
want to come
we still have to
down
get
now,
there.
Xylund?
Nope, gotta go higher.
Okay.
At this point, Xylund can see everything. He just wants to be higher.
Yeah, what else is new with Silent though?
For the record, I can't get you down quickly. You're gonna fall back at like a nice gentle pace.
Yeah, at least you won't die.
Can't,
No,
can't
but
you,
like in a pinch, you'll fall slow.
can't you
Hey,
like cut the spell and then cast it on me again just before I hit
No,
the
it's
ground?
not how it works. When I cut the spell, you drop slowly.
Doesn't it?
Nope.
You. Ow.
I know.
By the way, I
Also,
just
I can't
realized.
cast it again.
So I just realized that while I'm sharing senses with my familiar, I can't hear or see
Correct.
anything except for with her. But we have a telepathic bond, which means I can communicate just fine.
No. No, you're still deaf and blind when you're
This is in my head.
when
You
you're
should have
sharing
telepathic
your
bond with the
familiar.
So like I can't even like. What's the intelligence of now?
Well, it's your intelligence inside of it. It's
Yeah,
not like-
it's a manifestation of you, but it's the fact that all your concentration is placed inside your owl. So you're sharing your consciousness with it. So you're not really aware of what's going on with your physical body.
Oh no, sure, physical. But I'm talking about this telepathic
Yeah,
communication.
I know what
That's
you're talking about, but no,
that's
you,
entirely
you
mental.
still wouldn't. You might be
Ah.
aware of what the others are saying, but you wouldn't be able to communicate.
I mean, that's fine. As long as I know what they're saying, so it's like, oh, danger! God, why?
You might be aware of it, but you still got all your focus on your familiar as she flies through. So as she does push forward, as she's obviously much closer to the ground than Xylund is right now, but it does seem you do get the sensation watching the clouds kind of pass by you. It feels very much as if you are pushing into headwinds. There's something very very hard pushing back against you. But since you are lower, you can kind of see the street below, whereas Xylund cannot.
I will relay that
I'll
verbally.
get to you in a second, Xylund. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
relay
so-
all that verbally and kind of imply that it seems to be some kind of magical effect since there's no actual wind.
So Xylund, as you push higher, you go as high as the spell will take you. The air higher and higher up seems to be free of the fog. The dragon, however, is still very much there.
Okay. So, just to be clear, looking down, I still can't see the ground because of the fog. It's not like it
Right.
fades from view. Okay, just
Right. The further you go up, your view of the ground is still very much obscured. Once you get past the fog bank, it becomes a blanket over the city,
okay.
and you can't really pierce it. All you can see are the tops of the buildings and one very large, as of yet, docile dragon.
Right. Well, I guess I'm gonna. Right now, I'm this really exposed dot
Yeah,
in the sky, so
you
I think
are.
I'm
You're
gonna make
just-
myself small and say, "I'll come down now."
Okay.
I'll drop the levitate.
What's the range on your enlarge reduce there, Davin?
Not that much.
Oh, bummer. Okay,
So
I'll make
Um,
myself look like a cloud.
A metallic cloud. Yes?
Yeah.
if we're trying to search for Bowen, I guess we'll figure out from Lily how hard it is to fly around here. But I could cast Locate Creature and then try to fly around the town quickly and get a... Because Locate Creature only works within 1,000 feet of an area. But if I can
Yeah,
fly
we could-
around the entire town within an hour, I should be able to at least narrow down the location of Bowen.
You might
if
get
she's-
eaten by a dragon.
I think
That's why I'm saying, like, if you like
Oh, if I
transform
like
me.
turn you into a bird. Yeah, that could
Yeah.
work.
I think there are people at the harbor. They might have a better idea of what's going on.
When I talked to Nellie's crew,
Oh, by
she
the way,
said
welcome
that
back, Xylund.
the harbor was the first place to be evacuated, so I don't know if there is anybody there.
Well, there's smoke anyway.
Well, that's where the fire started. The invisible fire started. That's why they had to
Oh.
evacuate
Visible
it.
fires. Okay.
Yeah.
But visible smoke.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
all
is
ships
the
were-
dragon lighting the invisible fires? Because it was kind of invisible.
Maybe.
That would follow.
Maybe it's stuck between dimensions or something, and these are like just slightly out of phase with reality. These fires and this dragon and shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Maybe it's stuck between the dragon orb dimension and this dimension. Maybe it's the same. No, it's not the same dragon.
No, it's not quite. But also that seems very convenient that we have a dragon-themed interdimensional artifact.
Right, we gotta get it into the orb. That's
Possibly. We still don't know what's going on. Let's just get to Nysala and Cat first. And then maybe find Bowen along the way. Keep the thing up, Kern, and then if we catch a sight of Bowen along the way, then maybe we can go find her.
Okay, creature is a 4th level spell. And it only lasts an hour each time I cast it. So
I can turn you into, a super fast falcon or something.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, at least I fly around the entire city where I'm like within 1,000 feet of most everywhere. And then I just like get an idea of like, oh, she's over in this area, and we either decide to go rescue her first or like go and find out what the hell is going on with Cat and Sally.
Again, I think some things should just remain in the past. I think we should just sort of put the Bowen chapter behind us, but if you guys are hell-bent on doing
Do you
that,
have something against Bowen specifically?
No, I just don't like, rolling around in my own shit. We kind of made a bad call there.
Which is
Some
why
of
we
us
kinda
don't
gotta
know what
make
you
things
did,
up.
and I'm very interested.
We might
We
have
gave her
given
to
her.
the enemy church, basically.
Whoa.
No offense, Gayle.
How'd you do that?
We thought it was a good idea at the time, somehow.
That seems unlikely. Then again, I've been with this group long enough to understand that what you think is good sometimes really isn't the best.
Does this
option.
have a volume knob for each different channel?
No.
God damn it.
To be
Again,
fair,
it'll burn
we didn't have you guys back then, and Kern seemed to be broken as far as our, keep us sane that day.
Well,
That's true.
it's good to know that not Davynn, it's Kern, it's Korn. I don't remember what your face with the hair is. The nice thing, though, is that you're not broken anymore. I mean, you still break my toys, and I'm not too kind of that. But at least you're here to be
Is
the moral
it
compass.
worth the 4th level spell slot? Might be worth the 4th level
You-
spell slot.
You can't silence him though.
And,
No,
I
it's
can turn
all
you into a
telepathic.
gecko.
You can't
Oh.
do that.
and
Thought you were
perhaps
gonna
I
turn-
think it's nice that the girls and I are also here to keep you going straight.
Thank you, Mooshnik.
You're welcome.
Lily is blissfully unaware of all of this, just waiting
Yeah.
for someone to poke her and tell her she can come back.
Yeah,
You can
she's an
just-
owl.
All right,
You're fine.
I'll poke.
Alright.
I'll tap,
So-
tap, 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 tap.
What? Oh. Hello, Xylund. See anything interesting up there?
Yep. It's half invisible dragon. Invisible fires. Mist.
Ah. Well, there seems to be some kind of magical force preventing easy flight. It's like trying to fly against a headwind that doesn't exist.
Okay.
So maybe no to the scouting as a bird thing.
Yeah. Well,
How about a rabbit? Rabbits are fast.
if that's the case, I'd rather be like some sort of wolf or speedy land animal.
Rabbits are sneakier and smaller.
Something.
Yeah.
I could just turn you into like a cheetah, and Could work.
What's wrong with a rabbit?
They tend to be very easily eaten.
But we're going for max speed here, right?
Yes.
You could just be a low-flying falcon.
You
Well,
know,
the pro-
I could be a bird. Wouldn't be the
Problem
first
is that-
time.
Well, the problem with that, sister, is most falcons, their speed comes from diving, not from wing strength.
Oh.
So, you would want to be something more like a sparrow. They tend to be faster when it comes to just sheer.
What if
Right.
Kern, what if you just like flew around us while we were heading on our way towards the castle? That way you can at least keep us up to date about whether or not Bowen is around, and maybe also help us scout ahead.
Yeah, that's a good
Well,
idea.
I
I actually
think-
do have to
I
turn you
think-
into something decently smart. If your int's too low, then the bond's not going to work.
So,
And I'm already
How-
going to be flying around as Vera, so.
The dowly.
That was the cat, sister. Vera's the owl.
Emphasis on the owly.
Nadowly, though.
No.
Uh-huh.
But I like
This
that.
is going to be another
I
brisket
really like
snowfuck
that.
situation, isn't it?
Yes.
how about
Mooshnik with no idea of what that means?
Lily scouts our immediate vicinity with Nadali and
Vera.
Yes,
Mm,
yes.
Sure. I'm in favor of Kern's plan to just do a quick poke around the city as a sparrow. Or,
And search
Okay,
for
anybody
Bowen.
opposed?
To the sparrow plan?
Yeah.
Sparrow
And then
plan
you
seems
guys,
fine.
and then you guys can start making your way towards where Nisalia is and Cat, and then I'll just meet up with you.
Well, we don't know they're in the same place. How about we go
Well-
to the Argent Order?
I was actually about to just suggest that. I think that would be most likely where we would find Cat if she is as.
They did say that would be where Cat was.
Yeah, I
so,
think that's
yeah.
the best starting point.
And she can update us on the information about the rest of the city since she's been here. And if Nizali is not at the castle, then she might know where she is. By the way, is it Karacht? Is the castle?
Karacht. Yeah, it's the name of the
Karacht,
castle.
okay. If she's not at Karacht, then she might know where she is.
All right, sounds like a plan then.
Okay, so we are birding Kern. Is that
Hold on,
I-
before we
Yeah.
bird Kern,
I was waiting till he gets this thing up.
okay?
And I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself because it's not concentration.
I think a giant eagle will work. They seem smart enough.
Giant
they
eagles
have
are
it.
smart.
They have an int of what, 8?
Yeah,
All
6,
I need is
think,
all I
something
need is
like
int
that.
2.
Yeah,
no,
they are smart.
Grog was 6, and he got smarter as an eagle.
Actually, I think a raven. That's probably smart enough.
yeah,
And
probably right.
smaller.
Let's check
Okay.
the stats.
Raven
Are
is
there
probably-
stats for ravens?
Yes, there's stats for everything. They have an int of 2. Doesn't work.
I thought it was 2 or below 2. Oh, 2 or less. Boo.
Besides, their flight speed is 50 feet, whereas
He'll be a giant eagle. It's fine.
What about just a regular eagle?
the giant
Int
eagle
2, I just checked.
has an int of 8 and a fly speed of 80. And
It is
then-
also humongous and dragon food.
It is.
And then
It's a large
giant
creature, yes.
owl is int of 8, fly speed 60. So giant eagle would be the fastest.
What
And
about
have
just
an
a
int of 8.
regular owl?
I see
Regular
a
owl has an int of
Bloodhawk
2.
stat block that has an int of
Bloodhawk.
3.
Bloodhawk, yes.
Perfect.
What's its fly speed?
60.
That's
I
I
good.
mean, that's
Let's take 60 over 80 if it helps avoid our attractive cleric being eaten.
Yes. I appreciate
Very
it.
attractive cleric, yes.
Extremely.
And
Anyway.
it is a small beast instead of a large one, so that's good.
All right. Do you have your thing up?
Yes.
Cool, you're a hawk.
All right, so Kern, you have locate on? Is that what
Yes.
you're doing? Okay. And you are now a hawk.
Yep.
And the
I'm just.
crew is moving along.
Who is going to
Yep.
lead Lily? Lily's gonna latch onto Davynn, actually, and onto his shoulder.
That works.
Yeah. And is basically gonna just tell him to poke her if anything comes up that she needs to be present for.
Will do.
And she's going to go blind and deaf and start flying in the general vicinity of the direction we're going, about 100 feet ahead, just for scouting.
Alrighty. And Kern, where are you head?
I am doing a sweep of the city looking for Bowen to
Okay.
pop up on my magical radar.
Oh, let me know if you need me to drop the polymorph. I mean, then you'd have to find your way back to us on your own. But like, just by the way, okay, bye.
Bye.
I
Because
mean,
you can do the telepathic.
you didn't have to rush. You had plenty
I don't
of time. to tell
know.
him.
It's new magic.
Instinct.
Okay. So, as the crew leaves the Warren, finally, after having dicked around for however long at this point, you make your way closer to the Argent Order, which is, of course, in the old city. So you cross the first bridge you come to over the cut, normally heavily guarded with temple guards as well as Argent Order, depending on the day, but of course is empty. And as you cross the stone bridge and get into the old city proper, the light tendrils of sort of early morning fog that you encountered upon entering the city intensifies to the point where the stones beneath your feet are obscured. You can hear Kern and Xylund's boots clank against them as you walk, but they become very difficult to see as the mist intensifies and climbs a little higher until it's almost knee height heading through. The buildings are equally sort of enshrouded in this mist. They're there and you can make them out through the fog, but it's very much as if a pall has been cast as you walk through. It's very Silent Hill. It's also very quiet. The smell of smoke is much stronger on this side of the river than it was in the Warren. And you can hear there are groups of people elsewhere. You don't see any initially, but you can hear groups of people, metal clinging against stone in the distance.
Can I cast a spell?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I want to cast out of my dragon helm.
As you veer closer to the Argent Order, your dragon helm is definitely pinging behind its walls.
Haha!
Kern, as you sweep the city, making broad circles in your hawk form, your spell too lights up in your attempt to locate Bowen. It's very vague though. It doesn't give you a pinpoint as you would have imagined.
Well,
But she is definitely in the direction of Karacht. She's not at the mount, which would be behind you.
so towards big scary dragon thing.
Towards the castle seems to be the direction that she's in. Nadali, in her scouting form,
Vera.
Nadali.
Vera.
The gods only recognize her true name, which is Nadali.
Well.
Vera, it sees as you guys approach Baron Hold of the Argent Order. Definitely detects movement, in the mist, you can see the outline of Barren Hold. You can hear there are people moving inside of it. And emerging from the mist is a rather tall, slim figure in black and dark green. She's got a very tight-cut dress, very, very form-fitting. Can't even see her feet as it heads all the way down trails behind her. She's got sharpened bones that pierce the upper parts of both of her arms, and what appears to be bangles of metal up and down each of her forearms. Her hair is loose and wild and dark, set with beads and strips of metal. Her nose is pierced with similar sharpened bone, and it looks like she's got rings of metal set into her lips as well. And she is exiting the main gate of Barren Hold and heading to the massive oak that sits outside of it.
I am gonna have the owl. I'm gonna have Vera land in one of the branches of the oak, and because she flies super quietly, and white actually blends in with mist very well. I'm hoping she doesn't get seen. And I'm gonna tell the group, well, I could be wrong, but I think I've found our Decentar.
Oh! Roll a stealth check.
By the way, you can communicate even without a common language, so it doesn't have to be a call.
I know. I'm just not letting Mooshnik in on that.
All right, stealth check
Beautiful.
for the owl.
Stealth check for the owl, please.
Gets a +3, which is, funnily enough, higher than Lily's stealth. 17.
Hey. But elf. But A.
But paranoid elf lady.
I mean, it's not like the owl's acting super shifty. It's just being an owl. They fly quietly.
There's
Except
an
your owl
owl
is
in the
not
middle
an
of an
owl.
abandoned city that's completely white.
Well-
So as Vera hangs out in the branches, you are communicating with the group, right, Lily? So you've disconnected from.
No,
Or owl
so
friend.
I can still talk. I just can't hear or see, like verbally speaking. Anyways,
Didn't we just go through this?
we were able to do it with Nautilus back in the manor.
It's fine.
Yeah, like
Um,
verbally you can speak. You just can't get any responses. Is all.
So, as you watch, the dark figure approaches the tree, the large oak tree. So now you can see full on her face as she lifts her chin, inclines her head just enough to look dead on at your owl. And, she's got tattoos that run along the outside of her face and down through her ears, very exaggerated elvish ears. And it's not exactly a smile, but she opens her mouth to the point you can see her teeth have been filed, much like Shark Marston's, to where they
That's-
are points.
Terrifying.
It is. This entire woman is vaguely terrifying.
I'd like for the owl to take the dodge action.
But yeah, her eyes, which are an odd combination of sort of silver outlined with an amber color iris. Very, very disconcerting look about her. The bone piercing's not helping the matter. She has a staff strapped to her back, which she removes slowly, never taking her gaze off your owl. And then raises a hand up towards it. You can see she's got sort of long, extended fingers, a little longer than they should be even for an elf. And very long, filed fingernails. At least you hope they're fingernails. As the mist sort of clings around them. And one last pseudo smile before she wraps her staff on the oak tree, places the other hand upon it, and is gone.
Oh wait, that's the magic oak.
Oh, thank goodness.
I go poke it, see if I can follow her.
All right. Well, you guys arrived shortly thereafter, since
Oh right.
since Vera was scouting ahead. But yeah, you get there in fairly short order. Kern, are you still in hawk form, or have you returned to your majestic self?
I am still in hawk form after I get the direction. I'm like, okay, she's probably in there somewhere.
Yeah. You get that fairly quickly. Karak is huge, so you don't have to fly very far
Okay.
from
Yeah.
Baronhold until you start to pick it up. It's like, okay, she's definitely in that direction, but the closer you get to Karak, the fuzzier it gets.
Really.
Mhm.
It doesn't it doesn't just vector me towards her.
No, it's not a ping. It's not what like the other times that you've used locate, where it's given you, okay, this is where it is. Or when you tried to detect other things, where it's given you a very clear idea of this point. You don't get that. It's more a feeling of, okay, it's in this general direction, but the more you chase it, the harder it is for you to pinpoint.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's definitely coming from the castle.
So I will come back down, and to Lana only, I will be like, I'm just going to be another pair of eyes for right now. I'll come back down if shit hits the fan.
Alright. From gazing into this hawk's soulful eyes, I think Kern's planning to stay like this for a little while longer. Just
So
remember it only lasts an hour, and you will not fall gently.
I know.
So after we get to the tree and I come back, I'm just like, okay, first things first. That woman is bloody terrifying. Sharpened teeth, bone piercings, other piercings, weird eyes, and just unsettling smiles. Ugh.
Sounds like a girl I used to date.
And Mooshnik, you would actually know of the Decim Terror, being a man of the wilds yourself. Like, the Decim Terror are fucking frightening. The Decim Terror are the highest level of cleric under Kalishan. They're known for their blood sacrifices, and they are the big bads. When Kalishan is really, really upset with you, she sends the Decim Terror. They are known for their extreme views on things. They're absolutely merciless in battle. They do not take prisoners, and they command extremely powerful magic. So if a Decim Terror shows up, shit has hit the fan.
Primal magic.
Really hope that we don't have to fight her. Not in the least part, because that means we're on opposite sides of Camp Finalis, and that would be really sad.
Yes, well, all I know is, from what I know of them, they use primal magic, which is primarily blood sacrifice, and seeing her, I can believe it. Also,
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, I'm pretty sure she used, Tree Stride to leave.
Also, Mooshnik, you dated a Destin Terror, or did you just date a Destin Terror fangirl?
You know, it's hard to tell, but they're really into some things like biting and cutting and the whips, although that part wasn't exactly as bad as you might think it would be. And you got
I've done that
skin
before,
as
that's
tough
fine.
as mine, you gotta get a girl who can get a little bit nasty and isn't afraid to pull punches. That's
Honestly,
how you know you're still alive.
I'd probably say Desinter fangirl, considering my reading on the Desinter implies they're a little focused on their job.
Well, you gotta train up to the position, you know. And it's not like they don't have lives outside of it.
Well, where did the Destin Terror come out of again?
She came out
places.
of Baronhold.
Yeah, she
Out
came
of
out
the
of
main
Baron
gate,
Hold.
actually.
Yeah, she came out of Baron Hold.
That's the Argent Order hold?
Yep.
Okay, I guess we're going inside there. Because whatever she was interested in, I guess we're probably interested in too.
We needed to speak with Kat anyways. Oh man, that was terrifying.
You good? You okay?
She stared right at me. And just smiled. And it was the most unsettling thing, and I thought Vera was about to die, and I just got her. Oh god.
Who's Vera?
And Lily is once again not speaking to her sister. She just
You're
gives her a
reading the
look
Charlotte.
and then just like cuts her out of the telepathic communication from there.
Alright. Nadowli. Alright, so you're now standing in front of Baron Hold. Kern is still in bird form. Yes?
No,
Correct?
Oh. Well, yes.
Okay, making sure. And the gate is slightly ajar. Normally there are 2 soldiers that man the gate to Baron Hold, because Baron Hold is a large walled off sort of encampment. You don't see any guards on the outside. The 2 guards are usually stationed inside and up above in the snipers' nests are not there, at least not that you can see. And as I mentioned, the door is slightly ajar.
Well, shall we go in?
Do we want? Yeah, let's go. Come on, Hawk.
Crew pushes its way inside. And again, the inside, the last time you saw it, at least those of you who were in the party at that time, it was crowded with, Argent Order of various ranks. There were training exercises. It was loud. It was smelly. It was busy. There were tents up everywhere of different people doing different things. There was a full smithy in the back that was going full blast. You could feel the heat as you walked inside the encampment, and none of that is true. Again, you don't see guards on the inside. It's very quiet. The smithy is dead silent. You don't see the smoke rising from it. It's barren. The main building, the actual hold itself, is there. Its doors are shut. But it is still standing, although silent and dark.
Another place I never thought I would willingly walk into.
First time for everything, I guess.
Yes, this would
Should
be
we
a first.
call out for Cat? Or are we still being quiet?
I think we should. Something about this place is still unsettling. Let's look around first.
Yeah, I agree. Let's try to make ourselves less known.
Besides, from everything you all have told me of, I'm pretty sure she just, once she did find us, called us all idiots for calling her name so loudly in what's essentially enemy territory currently.
To be fair, if she did that, we would find her, and we would also probably be safe.
I'm also really hoping that this Desenterre wasn't here for Pat. If so, then, well, we won't really like what we find.
Alright. I think we're trying to investigate the area without drawing attention to ourselves.
Okay. By investigate the area, are we talking about the outside corridor, or are we trying to get into the hold itself?
I think into the hold, right?
Yeah.
Where is my helm pinging from?
Oh, your helm is pinging from the actual smithy. Although, as I mentioned, the smithy itself is dark. There's no fire going. There doesn't appear to be anybody in there. But that is where your helmet pings from.
Alright, I'm going over there.
All right. So Xylund is going around the building to the smithy. Is he...
Somebody gonna go with him? I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
Just
Right.
remember
round
to keep in touch.
You round the corner. Again, you don't really see anybody. The tents that were here before, the dragon bit sellers and the equipment managers are all gone. You make your way to the smithy in the back, which is cold, long cold. Hasn't been a fire here for a long time. And they didn't bother to clean up after themselves. The equipment is sort of rifled through, not in a disrespectful way, but it looks like folks have been pulling things out of chests. There are crates and equipment footlockers here that weren't here the last time you visited, and things have been unpacked. Looks like they've been handed out in quick succession, as bits and bobs sort of lay everywhere. And in the far corner, in a box that screams its name to you, Xylund, is a finished dragon helm.
Ha! Ha ha! I put it on. You all doubted me. Here it is.
And indeed, it is a dragon bone helm. Tucked inside of it is sort of a leather cowl to protect your head while you wear it, as the inside is not lined or anything. It is bone. But it has been carved and smoothed into a slightly exaggerated, very ridged forehead version of a dragon, with the snout coming over the top, so that it sort of covers your face. It doesn't really have a bottom to it, though.
Does Xylund push a mental image of it to everybody?
I'm gonna be rejoining you guys shortly to show you in person.
He's gonna.
Well, I'm
he's
gonna push a
put
mental
this-
image because I heard him say it, and I figured that would be weird.
Holy.
Well, that's certainly
Impressive.
something.
And it is
While
still
we're here-
white.
Yeah. While we're here, I would like to try to track down some bits of armor that I was requesting
Yes.
before.
Yeah,
too.
and that is absolutely doable. There are enough cast-off pieces and half-finished pieces and leftover pieces that you could definitely find something that would work for that.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Anybody else want some equipment while we're here? Looks like they've got some spares to spare.
Aw.
I don't think there's anything I can actually
Aw.
wear.
Hey, Kern, is there something you want?
If there's a magic shield, yes. But I don't think
I
there's
will look
magic.
for magic shields.
Alright,
I'll
are
also
there
look for
magic
decent
shields?
leather armor for my own sake.
And
And
Uh,
other armor.
if
the-
you do
as-
find anything magical, I will be able to identify it. Don't forget.
As far as like full leather armor, there isn't a whole lot to choose from.
That follows.
Unfortunately, a lot of it is, like I said, it's bits and pieces. So they would be okay add-ons, but as full leather armor, they wouldn't work. And there aren't any shields at all. Most of the weapons and shields appear to be gone. What's left looks like to be sort of the underpinnings of armor.
Gotcha, that follows. Pack it anything if you want it, Kern.
Okay.
Alright. And then we're gonna head back with our new loot, mainly
All right.
Xylund's giant dragon helm.
Yeah, Island's giant dragon helm. and some minor armor upgrades for Davynn. All right, so we're back at Baronhold proper. Door is shut. What would you like to do?
Open the door.
I
Okay.
With
The door
magic.
is
or we
unlocked.
could
I would
or
like
we could
to
do
open
that.
the door.
So Lana opens the door with Hawk Kern on her shoulder, I imagine.
Oh, of course, it's my attack hawk now.
Yes. And the hold on the inside is just as dark as it was on the outside. There's not much sound in here. You think you hear voices coming off from a far corridor, but they're real muted. But again, a far cry from the last time you guys were in this hall. The dining room is ahead of you. It's completely dark. Kitchen's cold. There's nobody walking around in here. None of the lamps or sconces are lit. Looks like there might be a little light off to the right. but it too is super muted and looks like it's far away. Whose thoughts are you reading?
I'm not. I'm using the function at the very end to detect the presence of creatures within 30 feet, I think.
You wouldn't detect anybody within 30 feet.
Uh,
Other than, people you know.
Hi.
yeah.
Hello.
It echoes because it's the telepathically.
Yeah, exactly. So
You guys can't actually feel that, I don't think. But I'm just gonna hold it for the minute it lasts while we're walking around.
where do you wish to go?
Does that mean every time I talk you hear it twice?
God.
No.
No.
I'm not actually reading anybody's thoughts. I'm just trying to detect the presence of intelligent minds.
Oh, well, you'll be picking up about half this party then.
We should go towards the voices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
All right. So you head off to the right, following this main corridor as it leads off. It splits multiple times, but the light seems to be coming from a particular direction, so it's fairly easy to follow. The muted voices get slightly louder, but not too much. This isn't a large group of people that you're tracking. So after following this corridor for a bit, and some of you have already taken this route before, bless you. And it does dawn on, I don't know about Xylund because he was probably high at the time, and Kern's a hawk. But Davynn, you might remember, the way that you're going is leading you to Kat's office.
Right, yes.
That seems to be where the light is coming from. Xylund, you may remember as well, I don't know.
I wasn't really into the drugs yet. I was mainly just drinking at that time.
It's 50-50.
So my
Okay.
memory is shit.
But you seem to be headed your way to Kat's office. And after following the corridor to its conclusion, standing outside of the shut door to Kat's office is a familiar individual to some of you.
Cat.
Nondescript male,
Oh, Stanley.
leaning up against the wall next to the door. Brown clothes, brown hair, shit-eating grin. It is indeed Stanley of legend,
Fucking Stanley. God.
who sees you round the corner. And he's actually looking a little better than you saw him last. Like, his clothes, while they are pretty nondescript, they're definitely a step up in quality. He doesn't quite have the shit kicker boots. Like, he looks like a proper gent from town, you know? Got even a little bit of jewelry going on. So yeah, he seems to have come up in fortune just a tad than last time you saw him.
So that, or he was going for ultra blending last time.
Possibly. So he sees the crew round the bend.
Hi.
He actually has an actual hat, which he tips instead of his pantomime from the last time you saw him, and smiles. This is fellas and lady fellas. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company?
Hello, Stanley.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Is Kat in?
Yeah, she is.
Alright, we came to see her, not you, Stanley.
What? What's with the animosity? I took your message. I thought we were friends. I thought we had an understanding.
Yeah, we're best friends.
I don't understand. I mean, I'm happy to see you.
Okay, good. So you're gonna move?
Are you sure you want to go in there?
Pretty sure.
Why shouldn't we?
Captain's not in the best of moods.
Yeah, trust us. She never is. And especially not with us, so we're kind of used to that.
Don't take it Don't take it personal, son. I guess I could let you in.
You guess?
I'm supposed to be keeping watch.
I have a question first. When you say not in the best of moods, is that a yelling at people because they're all incompetent idiots kind of mood, or a stab people because they should be dead instead of living and wasting oxygen kind of mood?
Oh, the captain doesn't stab people who don't deserve it. She
Hmm.
might, make you think you're at the bottom of the ocean and can't breathe, but only for a little bit.
Oh,
And
well,
It's fine.
that's easily handled.
She hasn't done that to us yet, so you're probably fine. You guys are like more reasonable than we were back then, so we're probably fine.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, I'll let you in. I should announce you though,
Wait, hold on.
Proper.
One thing first. Did you
course.
see a scary-looking elf coming through here?
Oh yeah.
The Descent, huh?
Oh yeah. She's an interesting one, huh?
What did she want?
I don't know if I can say top secret spy stuff,
We're kind of in an emergency situation right now, and we're here to help. So
Well, just between you and me, since we are such good friends.
Best of friends.
Best of friends. I got the feeling that she wasn't up to snuff. Precisely.
What is that?
I don't think she was quite equipped to handle the problems we got going on.
Well,
So
But
that's
equipped to
even
take care of what I had going on about a century ago, if you know what I mean.
that's even more terrifying than the Descent are, considering their capabilities. That lovely.
I mean, she left us present, so I'm sure the captain was pleased. But,
What did she?
yeah.
Wait, never mind. We'll ask Kat.
Yes. You said you wished to announce us. I don't believe you are acquainted with myself, my sister, or Mooshnik
Oh,
here.
I
So
don't
that
need your names. She'll know. Cat knows everything. Don't
How
worry
dis-
about it.
how disquieting. All right,
She's
very well.
What's the not racist word for brain eater again?
He kind of laughs.
Iyith?
No, other one. Mind eater or something. Dream eater. That's what I'm thinking. The not racist
Oh.
word for that.
Hold on. I actually think I have this in my notes somewhere. Maybe.
Call.
Oh god.
It
what is
wasn't Dream Eater. It was
Kavan or something?
That's her race.
Whoops. Okay, I ended up being more racist.
Well,
Mind
Will
blaster.
Worker? Is it Will Worker?
It was Will Worker, yeah.
Hey, look at that. Are you referring to the Will Workers, Davynn?
Yep, that exactly.
Pretty sure it's Mind Blaster.
Well, that's even more. The more you tell me, the more disquieted I am. Perhaps we should just go in before.
Come to think of it, we lead an exciting life.
You
Yeah.
do. You absolutely do. I, for one, would agree with that.
Wasn't talking to you, Stanley.
I
So few people do.
I'm gonna just kind of blast out over the psychic connection. If you're not speaking to him, perhaps it'd be best to keep all of the conversations up here. Why do I feel like one or all of us have been cursed at some time in our previous life, or something?
No, let me tell you a thing about curses. What makes curses so terrible is you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be, because of someone else doing something to you you didn't really appreciate to begin with. The other thing about curses is you
Yes,
often
yes,
find that
Mooshnik,
you're the
that's
one
the
that put yourself
definition of
in
a
that
curse.
situation.
Thank you.
Let's go on to see Cat.
All right, so Stanley is witnessing you guys basically looking from one to the other, clearly having a private conversation. Looks completely nonplussed by the whole thing, though.
A private conversation Cat can probably hear.
Probably. So he says, "Well, if you insist, I'll announce you though. Just hang tight." And he
Much obliged.
pokes his head inside the office. There's a smash of crockery, and you can see his body sort of, lurch back a little bit. His head never leaves the office, but the rest of his body reacts as if it would like to. And all you hear him say is, "Captain, you got," and she says, "I know." So he pulls his head back out. Yes, she knows. Have fun.
I'll tip him a copper piece.
He will take that copper piece. No shame. Just yoink. Pockets it immediately.
It's tipping somebody 10 cents.
Yeah.
Thank
Kicks the
you,
door
Stanley.
open wide for you all to enter. And
That's how you can tell he's a real adventurer. He took money regardless of how small it is.
Yep. No qualms. Stanley has no qualms. Yoink in his pocket.
A coin's a coin, no matter how small.
That's right. So yeah, the door gets kicked open wide, and you are once again faced with the office of Captain Cat. The office is in its usual state of disarray. Piles of parchment, except now instead of just taking over her desk, they have migrated to the corners of her room. There is another figure sitting in a chair off to one side, elven, fairly slight, wearing long green robes with a staff leaning up against the wall next to her, hands folded in her lap, looking pretty calm, gaze never leaving Cat, not acknowledging your presence. Cat herself looks like she's been on a bender of some type. Hair is loose, which is the first time you've ever seen it. She looks like she hasn't slept in a couple days. She's got really deep gouges on her neck. Look like claw marks almost on one side of her neck. There's a pile of, looks to be like tissues or cloth hankies that have been kicked into the far corner, and they are all bloodstained.
Lily, hearing that Cat is a wool worker, is very, very carefully not thinking about any of that.
Davynn will just say, just as he walks in, say, "Hey, Cat, you kind of look like shit."
I can lay hands on that for you.
She standing behind her desk, palms just sort of flat on the wood, looks up at you, and just gaze flickers over each of you.
Mind blank, mind blank, mind blank. Not thinking about
Including
anything.
Kern the Hawk. And first
Imagine like Cat getting a mixture of caw, and if I keep on saying caw, they won't catch on.
her eyes first rest on Lana for a moment.
Oh yeah, that box. Who has the box?
I believe Kern had it.
Kern has the box, but Kern's polymorphed.
Kern. Oh wait, I wouldn't know. Never mind.
Kern, we need you to poop a box.
So Cat's eyes rest on Lana momentarily. Yeah, again, Mooshnik is just white noise for Cat. That's all he's ever gonna be.
And Lily has some supreme mental discipline, so blank slate.
I don't think it works.
She focuses on Lana. So you're sort of under Cat's stare for a moment.
This is uncomfortable.
It is mildly. So she didn't say anything.
I cough 5 times to let
Oh,
Lana know that.
okay. And I dropped the polymorph.
Kat does not look surprised as Kern flashes back to his mortal form. Kind of looks him over, and then her gaze shifts over to Davynn. And her eyes narrow a little bit. And she sits down finally in her chair, having stood this whole time. And still focused on Davynn. She says, "What's wrong with you?"
What's
You got
wrong with
late.
me?
He's a man now.
Well, yes. I think she knew that already, though. But also, what do you mean?
You look different.
Yeah, I guess people grow up. I'm still growing. That stuff.
Hair in weird places. All that.
Yeah, Kat is actually even messed up. Kat is pretty hot. She says, "No. Why are you nervous?"
Well, there are lots of answers to that question. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. I figure you probably know about my deal at this point.
And she just tilts her head.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well, in that case, yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on. But we're here, and we are here to help however we can. Sorry if we were a bit late.
A bit late. Xylund cracks up
A
with that.
little late, yeah.
Lily
Yeah,
is
Kat has the same sort of barking.
Please excuse our tardiness, milady.
Yeah, I'm sure Mooshnik is having some flashbacks. Kat does look pretty bedraggled. Like she definitely does look worse for wear. So again, from her seat, there are no chairs for you guys, so you're just sort of standing in this clump in this tiny ass office that stinks of cigarette smoke. With the elven girl off to one side. Oh yeah. Yeah, you definitely smell it. No, for once she's not smoking.
Lily is.
Oh,
She
dear.
does not have her cigarette at all. Like, you don't see her pouch or anything. She's not smoking. But the whole office does stink of cigarette smoke. So she sits back in her chair. Says, "Well, what do you have for me then?"
We have the box, right? We do have that still, right?
Behold
Yes.
the box.
Yes, I will give her the box that she asked for.
Turns out inside the box was the thing that could stop this whole thing from happening, and because we dilly-dallied, it all happened.
So she takes the box. She starts to rifle through it. She takes out the pouch that Nabak gave you. The gift for her. And says it to one side. And looks at you and looks at it. Took you guys a long time to get here.
Like I said, we had a lot of stuff going on. Trust us, it was important.
I know. She seems fairly calm. Like, weirdly calm. For Kat. And she holds up the little bag that Navak sent. What's this?
It's from Navak.
Oh?
It's for you.
Oh. She opens it up and dumps it out on her desk, and it's a piece of rock. About the size of a ping pong ball. Looks like it was chiseled out of a wall. It might have some faint carvings in it. It's kind of hard to tell. There's not a whole lot of light in her office. She only has one window high above, and of course the Silent Hill mist has obscured most of the sun. So she kind of pokes it with a quill. So this is interesting. She picks it up. And the moment she picks it up, you can see the smoke rise from her hand and hear that sound of a burger on a grill as it starts to sear her flesh. And she throws it, screams softly, and just pitches it across the room, pinging Xylund in the chest with it.
Hey,
Does it burn Xylund's chest?
Doesn't seem to.
I'll pick it up and see what happens.
Yeah, I get a closer look as he's picking it up just to see if I can identify the carvings on it.
Okay. Xylund, pick it up. It doesn't seem to interact with you. She is cursing up a blue streak and reaching into her desk to pull out a handkerchief. It's sort of red and crimson and brown stained, and wraps her hand with it.
Navik's kind of a dick, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Sort of massages her hand a little bit.
Do I recognize the carvings or anything?
Yeah, I was
they
about to
are
ask the same.
Really, really faint. Real faint. To the point where you're not sure if you're looking at actual script or if it's just contours in the rock.
Yeah, pass it over to Gayle to see what he makes of it.
What was that?
She just shakes her hand. It's a bad joke. This whole thing is a bad joke.
What's going on with
said-
Nesali right now?
I don't know. Karak is shut. It's sealed. And we can't get in.
And what of the dragon? Where did that come from?
Disappeared. Disappeared and massacred an entire squad.
Was it the one that set the invisible fires?
I don't know what sets the fires. No one knows what sets the fires. They happened. And people died. We evacuated the harbor. But they still happen. You can hear them and smell them, but you can never see them.
And there's some kind of weird mind plague going around?
I don't know what it is. But I'm glad you're here.
When you say sealed...
I mean sealed. The door is sealed. It doesn't open.
We might possibly be able to help with that.
Now
Maybe.
she's focusing deadly on Lily. Like, she hasn't really paid you much attention up until this point. She's been fairly distracted, staring down Lana and staring down Davynn. But now you have the full focus of her attention.
I mean, she probably has our entire life story from Lana anyway. Depending on how it was sealed, we might possibly be able to undo it. I'd have to see it first.
You can't go there. No one can go there. It's not safe. The closer you get to the castle, the worse things get.
Begging your pardon, ma'am, but if we don't get this resolved, then Aurum invades, and I do not wish to see that happen. And if we can help this city, help its people, I'd like to try.
Well, if you want to wander up to the gates, you're more than welcome. But I'm not paying for your funeral.
Well, there are one...
Well,
Go ahead, Devin.
how can we help then? How would you say we should help?
I don't know. Her Grace said you were going to fix it. Her Grace said you were the key.
Well, there you
But
go then.
Oh.
I don't know. You can't get inside.
You don't know that? We haven't tried yet.
Yeah.
What
If you approach
kind of
the castle, you're dead. You're just dead. we've lost 2 men trying to get into that castle. The bandit brigade has been decimated. I've
How-
personally lost an entire squad just trying to breach that castle. If you
How
go
did
there,
they-
you're done.
This might be a bit insensitive, but how did they die?
How did they die? Ripped apart by things we couldn't see. Arms gone, heads gone. In front of us. Slaughtered. And there was nothing we could do. I didn't hear it coming. I never saw it coming.
Well, we've got this extraplanar dragon orb doohickey. Maybe Davynn can make them appear by
What?
bringing the planes into alignment or something.
What do you have?
This extraplanar dragon orb doohickey.
Are you
Show it to-
familiar with the Marins?
No.
Didn't we tell you we got this? Didn't I was pretty sure we told
I
you.
thought
Other people in the room
I
that we
think
don't even know their name.
Are there other people in the room?
There's the
Yeah,
one
the
elf
elf- the
woman
elf
that's
at the
been
desk.
sitting there, and there's Stanley outside the door who is probably listening in.
Oh, Stanley doesn't count.
we have something powerful that we might be able to contribute, and also the person who is able to use it. Hi, Davynn from Whitfeld. No.
That is a potential solution. Another one would be to find the source. There's something this powerful. It has to have a source. It can't just exist on its own.
Well, the source is probably inside. Miss Ollie is trapped in her bonds of despondency, as previously mentioned. We have to go in there and cheer her up. And the dragon orb is the key to doing that. It's all starting to fit together now.
Can I see this thing?
Can we do this in private?
Oh, you mean... She's fine.
I stage whisper to Kern, I think Davynn's hitting on her.
In my head communication, I'm gonna say, well, last time I showed some of these my dragon orbs, it was in private too.
Lily just
Mooshnik will laugh
rolls
at
her
that one,
eyes
don't you?
and
That was to Xylund only.
Xylund chuckles.
And then I'll say, can we at least get an introduction? We don't have your, mind introduction thing.
What?
Who is this person? Hi, Davynn from Whitfeld. Nice to meet you.
So the elf woman sitting off to the side, looks up and raises her hand in a very subdued greeting. But she didn't say anything. And so Kat does speak up. Like, don't worry about her. She's a gift.
Oh, was that the gift that the witch brought you?
Kat kind of chuckles a little bit. Yeah.
What'd she do?
Our guest?
Yeah.
Well, she's a magical censor. Shouldn't speak, though.
Lily winces.
The protections around Greylock they're just gone. I don't feel them anymore. But our friend here is a bit of a magical bloodhound, from what I understand.
Could this be the Gescholt stone? From what I've read, it has a lot of strange interaction with spirits and whatnot. Could these invisible beings be memories of a sort from the Gescholt stone,
Probably. Maybe.
Oh, weird.
which
I don't
means that
know.
those protections could have been helping to contain this.
Why don't we go to the dining room? And I'll tell you when I know. And Davynn can show me his balls. And
Oh, yeah, you probably. Damn. Yeah,
She
okay.
reads minds, you fool.
and,
Sorry, I'm new to this.
Well, that sounds a little racy in front of company. I mean, I'm not one that's a stranger to such things, but I'd really like more of an introduction, because especially involving that lad, because that's not exactly. It's a little bit like it's out of the
Yes,
cradle for
thank
me.
you.
It's not. I'm not okay with that.
Thank you.
No.
With the idea.
All right, let's go to the
Perhaps
dining
we
area.
can-
Let's go to the dining hall.
So Kat sort of like gestures for you guys to head out. Stanley opens the door without being asked,
I'll tip him another copper.
which he will snag up. We will take a quick break here. Oops, damn it. But yeah, we will take a quick break to refresh the video while we move to the dining hall, and then we'll get right back to it. So 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Twinki, I gotta say, I absolutely love how you can actually have a stream of consciousness run on. I've
It's great.
tried to
It's
do it, and it just
terrifying.
doesn't work.
It's because I'm just as old as Mooshnik. I've got a lot of experience to pull from.
Hey, I called it.
There we go.
This is fine.
So, you are headed off to the abandoned dining hall within Baronhold. Stanley is leading the way after having opened the door for you, like a gentleman.
I like to think that he opened it like right before we were coming out.
He
'cause
did.
He was
Yeah,
dropping.
as soon as you guys turned to leave the room, the door was kicked open. So, it's quite possible Stanley had been listening to the entire
Ow,
conversation.
my nose!
So yeah, it was kicked open for you. You're you are headed to the large, abandoned, unlit dining hall.
You could almost say it was barren.
It was barren. It is barren. Yes, the barren hold. Followed by the elf of no name and cat. Marching in this forlorn little line. But you are at least able to sit around a table and everyone seems a little more comfortable. Kat and her elven companion are sitting across from you at one of the long tables. And Stanley has taken a position behind Kat and her friend, so that you can just sort of see him over Kat's shoulder as she looks at the lot of you. So, once you're all settled, she focuses on Davynn once again, strangely serene.
You know, I've had a lot of people focusing on me recently, and I don't know how I feel about it.
To be fair, Davin, you asked for it multiple times.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you with your seductive cloak and your eyes and your
Kern,
Sexual
don't you
lust.
start too?
Do you have something to tell us, Kern?
that wasn't in character.
Okay.
So, what is this thing you've brought?
So what we've brought is an artifact that my grandma Marin made.
Boo.
I've been saying that forever, Xylund.
And and we're not entirely sure all of its powers, but we do know that it has some access to some really weird extraplanar magic stuff. Some of our party members actually ended up trapped inside of it for a bit, none of whom are still alive for unrelated reasons. And people of my family line, the Marin family line, are the ones who can wield it to its full potential. And if we can figure out what that is, maybe we can use that to figure out what's going on here. It does seem like there's some weird planar thing. I hope it's some weird planar thing, because then we maybe have an answer.
So she holds out a hand. Can I see it?
You promise to give it back?
Of course, I promise to give it back.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have something for this. I cast Zone of Truth.
God.
Alright, say that again.
Of course, I will give it back.
When?
When you asked for it.
I will take it. I'll take the dragon orb out from within my whatever pouch, I guess, and hold it out to her.
And she'll take it and kind of look at it a little bit.
Can I tell if she succeeded or failed on her saving throw just going forward?
You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw.
Right,
So,
so
yeah.
that's... Which...
So as far as you know, she didn't contest it.
Okay,
She was a willing participant. She didn't fight it.
alright, just making sure.
Is rude. But she's also aware that you cast it on her. So
Yeah. I figured.
all right. So she kind of holds the dragon orb in one hand and peers at it. This is it.
Yeah, that's it.
But you can use it.
As far as I can tell, I haven't tried yet.
Specifically, only he can use it.
Well,
Well-
he's the only one that can use it well.
It's bound to his bloodline.
What does it do?
There's open rifts
It
and
creates pocket dimension, in which multiple things are inside. For one, apparently a dragon, hence why they call it a dragon orb. Some shadow hounds and a few other things. That's what we can get from it at its base. Unfortunately, it's far more complex than we can easily identify.
But a whole bunch of people were after this thing and did not have good intentions for it, so
We need to keep it safe from them, and yeah, we
The
did.
gnolls,
yes.
Among others, yes.
Catharos.
Yes.
Cool.
That turns out was not the Cathal Ross.
No, they were overtaken by another figure.
What, you knew about that?
She just kind of looks at you and she rolls the ball back in your direction.
Oh, wait, yeah, we knew about that. Never mind.
Do you have any idea who that person was?
Yes, I do.
Who?
Well, he's dead now, so what difference does it make?
Well, it would help bring our adventures to a satisfying conclusion for the sake of our, chronicles here. I'm sure Gayle would like to know, wouldn't you, Gayle? I've been calling him Bimo the Grey, which is not very, intimidating.
Gayle doesn't know that you guys killed Green Eye.
Oh.
Gayle was not there.
Do you know why? Was he working for someone, or I'm afraid I don't really understand his motivations.
I don't know either. I only know what I was told before the castle went dark. And she sort of looks over at Stanley, who produces a packet of parchment from his pouch. And she starts to flip through the pages. Reports from Karacht. I know his name. He infiltrated that particular sect. Sent them after you. Manipulated by another force. Kobolds. Tricked by the same force. Bowen. Tricked by the very same force.
They're all tricked by the same guy?
What I think happened, yeah.
And you think this force might be behind current events here?
I don't know. According to Navak, and the reports that he sent in your absence, he was able to pull apart the High Priestess's holy symbol. It had been tampered with. The insides had been inscribed with script he wasn't entirely sure of, but he sent me a copy of nonetheless.
May I see?
No. And at this point, she actually does pull out a pouch and starts to light a cigarette. It seems like she's feeling like her old self again.
That laugh was just like Kern out loud laughing.
Lily isn't really bothered by the rejection. Not really her business, but she figured couldn't hurt to ask.
Mm-hmm. The script is... I don't know if you would recognize the word, but it's one used by will workers. It's dangerous and old, and not one you see often above ground anymore. But Navak believed it was how Bowen and Tuvaris were compromised. And they were compromised.
If it was inscribed on their holy symbol, then the only common location I would say would be the actual Church of Nenimith. It's possible that they were infiltrated there as well.
Probably. I'm still missing large gaps of the story. I don't know how exactly this person seems to be a skilled will worker, so it's impossible to know just how they infiltrated anything. They would have whatever tricks they needed, assuming. But they did manage to insinuate themselves. Maybe even gave Bowen the idea to go wandering out into the wilderness. I'm not sure about that yet. Bits and pieces. And her grace could only give me so much.
Didn't this whole thing start with a letter to Bowen saying, "Hey, dragons can be found in Hollowacre"?
Yep.
Wasn't that letter sent by Davynn's dad?
That's what Uthulu told you.
Davynn's dad, the bad guy?
I certainly hope not.
Justification for Ulrich being the hero. Woo!
Oh. So, speaking of Bowen, picked up that she was in the direction Karag or Karag?
She's in Karak.
Karag, yeah.
I know she is. She was one of the last guests that Her Grace had before everything.
Question. And of course you're free to not answer. This word, the way you speak of it makes it sound like it's capable of, at the very least over time, usurping people's will and binding it to the controller, yes?
Not
the-
exactly. It's complicated. It's... I don't know. It's like hiding something in a false book. Somebody who is capable of this type of... It's not a spell, but I guess spell is the easiest way for you guys to understand. Anyone who's capable of doing this, it would be like being a stowaway in somebody else's head. You could see and understand and maybe control, depending on how strong you were and how strong your target, your victim, I suppose, was. So yeah, it's complicated.
So, I will hold my question for just one moment. And I'll turn to the party. Didn't you all say that once she regained her symbol, she snapped and went crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right.
I think that speaks to, it gives additional evidence to the strength of this opponent.
So you think that the person who was tricking Bowen, that wasn't the guy that we killed, right?
No,
You think?
I know he's not. And she snaps at Stanley, who pulls out a rolled up piece of parchment, and she snags it and unrolls it on the table in front of you, and it's a map, a general map of the area. I've been tracking this person. It's tough because I don't know what they look like, but I've gotten hints. Everyone's been working really hard on this, but I've been able to track them from the harbor to Northshire to Hollowacre to Broadleaf, two other villages in between. They got close to Lorehold but never made it to Lorehold. They seem frightened of it.
A lot of the places that you all have gone on your adventure prior to meeting me and my sister.
Yeah.
They seem to be everywhere. I even know its name, but I don't know what it looks like.
What's
What's its name?
From what I've been able to get, the name that it uses anyway. And I will put it in the chat.
So, the question I have about this about this word is it something that would require a constant presence, or after a certain point, is it no longer even required? I suppose what I'm asking is, say for instance, Owen, she's had this symbol with this etching on it for who knows how long. Would it be possible for this individual to continue stowing away, as you put it, even once the symbol is removed?
Oh yeah. It's like embedding a splinter. It's not on a low level. It's something that a lot of my kind can do. you imprint on someone, and you can sort of hitch a ride and be at least somewhat conscious of what's going on. I promise I would never listen in, and technically I didn't do that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. But I used a similar technique with your young friend, Gayle.
What?
It's how I knew where you were.
Did you know about this, Gayle?
No! I mean, like, I could hear her, but I knew she could do that.
So she's been talking to you this whole time?
Just once or twice.
Did you
What have you
mention
been
this?
saying? What have you been saying?
I don't think it really matters right now. Is it possible? You said Bowen was the last, Her Grace is Nisali's last guest before Karak was shut down.
Before we evacuated, yeah. Before the mist started to rise, before the fires came. Yeah.
Could-
Bowen regained consciousness and asked to meet with Her Grace, and he was awarded that kindness.
Which means we have a very likely have a very good idea of how this happened. If this imprint is something long-lasting, we've already seen, well, they've already seen this will worker is able to exert at least some measure of control over her. It would be rather simple, I think, to request the meeting and then dismantle the protections, incite the Geralt stone somehow. Any number of things, really.
But what kind of person would be strong enough to do that to Nisali?
Doesn't have to do it to
That's-
Nisali.
You would have to do it to Her Grace. I can't imagine anyone attempting to harm the city, and if Her Grace was at all able to, not stopping it. It's just, I mean, she lives for this city. She wouldn't allow this to, she wouldn't allow her people to die like this if she could stop it.
Yes, but this person wouldn't necessarily have to possess her, for lack of a better term.
Can't possess Her Grace.
Well,
That's
exactly.
impossible.
But Her Grace does have a history of some ailment.
Excuse me?
Am I wrong?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Her Grace. Nothing.
Alright, well, forgive my presumption. But it's
I
far
just-
easier to put someone out of commission.
I just tap Lily slightly on the shoulder.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'm dying to hear this as she stubs out a cigarette on the table. Just on the table.
I'm gonna also put a hand on her other shoulder.
She... If you can
Mister,
put Her Grace out of commission in some way, shape, or form, she wouldn't have to be possessed. Just prevent her from acting.
Only death could keep her from doing that. That's it. The only reason that she would rather... She holds the city together. She would rather die than see it destroyed. I don't know what's going on in Karak. I just know that I can't hear her anymore. And I can't get inside. And she said you guys were the key. That no matter what happened, that you guys would fix this. And here you are, and you've brought me a ball.
Surprise!
Well, we haven't even tried to use the ball yet. Don't
You don't even know
diminish
what
the ball.
does.
We have a good idea.
Do you?
Dragons and planes.
You can't. There's no such thing as other planes.
That seems a bit narrow-minded. I, for one, have been to other planes. The elemental plane of love.
No!
All right,
I
fine.
just
How
wanna
about
Ignore.
why don't we try to use the ball then?
In the city.
Well,
I think
Can't get much worse here.
yeah. What's the
I
worst that could happen at this point?
Don't say
Okay,
I
only
think
I can say
perhaps-
that.
I think perhaps we should keep that as a more of a backup plan. We need to conduct reconnaissance, do some research. There's a lot of information that we can gather that might give us a way forward. Let's.
Where do you think you're going to research? This isn't a field trip. I can't let you walk around the city alone.
We'll send
So
our
you're
magic
coming with
sensor
us?
with us.
Without.
I-
This isn't a field trip, but without knowledge, how are we supposed to know what to even do? We don't have a handy
Well-
little roadmap.
I still have divination prepared for the day.
I say we're the
Right.
key, and there's a door,
Oh.
so we just walk up to the door and see what happens.
I told you I can't let you go to
We'll take
Karak.
Stanley. Stanley will watch out for us.
Stanley's useless. Stanley is sitting behind her, nodding enthusiastically, agreeing
Stanley,
that
you
yes,
burned.
he's indeed
He
useless.
really Honestly, even if he wasn't so blasé about it, he would probably agree just to not get torn apart by invisible monsters like all of, his coworkers
Yeah.
did.
I like Kern's plan.
What's Kern's plan?
Be like, hey, what would be the safest way into the castle? Good ol' Eileen.
Or perhaps, what should our next step be? What is our way forward?
Well, I think our way forward is getting into the castle and figuring out what the hell is going on.
If you guys want to go to Karak, then I will take you. I can't send you there alone. You've already lost enough. I can't just send you by yourselves.
Who are you coming with?
I guess.
Hooray!
Well, Let's not go until we have as much
Let's maybe do
information as
Kern's
we can.
plan and see if Eileen starts just screaming at the suggestion.
I like
the
that
very-
idea.
At the very least, let's get as much information as we can. We can't just go in blindly. That's only going to get everybody killed.
That's why we ask Eileen first, see if she gives a thumbs up.
Be like, hey,
Do we want to wait? Recharge?
We're fine.
this is a ritual, so it's not a big deal. You can ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity within 7 days. So, you could ask a question like, what's the safest way into Karak?
That seems like a good idea.
Does that sound good to everybody?
I'm down.
Sounds good to me.
I can't think of any better way of asking the question.
By the way, Cat, you have something worth 25 gold that we can use to ask this question.
Hold up, I might.
Because I've kind of burned through all my earthly possessions. Buying diamonds.
So
I have a coin purse from somewhere. I don't know from where.
I have.
The owl's worth 10.
I
No.
think I might have something. I might have something worth 25 gold.
Okay.
Davynn sighs very loudly. Okay. I've been saving this. It's autographed.
Oh. Oh. Can't take that from you.
It's worth the
Um,
risk at this point.
I've got something else. I'm not sure it'll be less emotionally painful, and I'll produce
The only thing
Corrin's fancy lightning resist shield that I've had in the
Yeah.
bag of holding for quite a while.
And besides, I've got 4 other originals now, thanks to Xylund, so...
I have 25 gold. Do you just need the pieces? Can we just burn the pieces?
Well, it said it's in. Let me look at the spell component again.
Yeah, the only thing I
Divination.
have is acid and alchemist fire, and we've already discussed why that's a terrible idea.
Incense or a sacrificial offering appropriate to your religion, together worth at least 25 gold pieces, which the spell consumes.
Oh, so maybe not gold.
I don't know. A lightning resist shield might be kind of cool.
For a storm goddess?
Yeah. Well, lightning
So-
resist, yeah.
As you all
Yeah.
are kind of clustered around discussing this, Stanley pops up. And, says, you guys need money? You need stuff?
I have 10 gold worth of incense,
Yes,
but
we need stuff.
So he
We
fishes
need
in his
a-
pockets. Alright, what do you need, though?
Something worth 25 gold that a lightning goddess would like.
Oh, you're one of those. Alright.
I'm not. It's not
I
me,
got just
so-
the thing. I got just the thing. Starts patting through his pockets. I owe you guys, well, a lot. So he
How
starts
so?
to dig through a little
Why?
bit. And he comes out with a pearl.
Are we just not going to address that?
He doesn't seem to want to. He's just kind of let that go.
Why
I
do
just-
you know us?
maybe we saved his life with all the information we gave him.
Mm,
All the top secret information we gave him.
someone interrogate him.
He's in the zone of truth.
He is in the zone of truth.
Why do we owe you? Or why do you owe us? What did we do for you?
Well,
No, we don't. That's why we're asking.
so you want this pearl?
No, we want an answer, goddammit.
we want both of them.
We want
But
an
if we have
answer
to
and also a
choose-
pearl.
Look, he's being very generous. Why don't we just
I
let
just
the poor
want
man
to-
breathe?
Because we're
I just want to
curious.
know why we're important to somebody. It's just important to me. It would make me
Well-
feel better.
Didn't the goddess last what's her butt say that you're all the key? I think that makes you important.
No, but
Yeah,
not
but
to
this guy
Stanley.
specifically, because goddess lass is big scale. That's not really my thing. I'm more small scale.
All right, Stanley,
Which-
spit it out.
Please.
So Stanley kind of shifts uncomfortably from one foot to the other. His mouth is working, but clearly against his will, as he very carefully avoids the gaze of Kat, who is incredibly interested in Stanley's answer. Well, one of the perks of working for the captain is I have the honor of transcribing her reports into a language people can read, and your story sold really well. So here's a pearl. And
Oh my god!
Oh.
He chronicled our
Oh my
adventures.
god!
Wait,
So you're
You
the
can't
one
do that.
that
That's how everybody knows.
we're doing that. You can't do that. I'm doing that. Gayle is doing that. You're fucking invalidating all of Gale's hard work. Go get him, Gayle.
Gayle just looks stunned. What do you mean, go get him?
So you are the reason why everybody knows of
Them.
Well, you.
all our
of you.
exploits.
All of you. It's a dark time, and stories lift people's spirits, and yeah.
I want my 2 copper back.
Do you have a physical copy of these stories?
No. This is for the masses. This is, I sell the story. Bards do what they will. Bards being bards, they're gonna add flourishes that I couldn't possibly, and
Yeah, he's right.
I'm an ideas man. They're the craftsmen. I respect their artistry.
Let's take the pearl, guys. This was amazing.
Wait, I think we're entitled to a cut of this anyway, because the reason Kat knew what was
Thank you
going
for
on
the
was
pearl,
because she was
Stanley.
looking through Gale's eyes, and Gayle is one of us. So
Kern, let's do this ritual, please.
So Stanley
you,
offers up
Kern.
his pearl. Cat just kind of shrugs, lights another cigarette, and says, I don't know why you're surprised. He pocketed the 100 gold I gave you the first time you met him.
What?
What?
And Stanley kind of stands there, sits back. Well, okay, yeah, so the captain gave me 100 gold. When, you remember I asked you if you need anything, and you said, no, I'm fine, I don't need anything at all?
Who
I
said
took
that?
that to mean, you did. I took that to mean that you
Me
were
personally
fine.
or us collectively?
You personally.
God fucking damn it.
So I took that to mean that you wouldn't mind if I took your, salary and put it to good use among the people, your people's the people, that sort of thing. So yeah,
Stanley,
yes.
might I introduce you to somebody who I think you would be great friends with later?
He's not here right now.
But
I
if
think
you're
you've actually met him before.
if you're ever
Yeah,
in
you did. You
Moorhole,
met
just
Ulrich.
yeah, just maybe go hang out with him for a bit.
I'm thanking you. Oh.
Thank you,
Oh
Stanley.
my
Let's do this
God.
ritual before
Before
more
we
stuff.
kill you.
I'd really like to know what these stories say about us.
We'll find out soon enough.
I want to
Anyways.
maul this guy.
Okay.
All right.
So you got your pearl.
I will do my ritual thing
Okay.
to talk to Eineline and be like, hey, been a while, but you know the safest way in McGarrick?
So, again, the pearls look like they're being rained on. They get wet, and then they sort of disintegrate into bits of sand and flutter away. And that voice that always reminds you of rain comes up in your ear again and says, there is no safe way.
I think I said safest way.
Oh, safest? Well, there's no safe way.
About to say, if we just got nothing out of that.
I think I said safest.
You said safest. Like, I don't think we ever thought that there would be anything completely devoid of risk here.
No safe way. No safest way.
Is there any way?
So is this a case where multiple things are tied for the safest? And so none of them are technically the safest?
I think it would have been what's the best
Hey
way.
Stanley, do you
Would've
have another pearl?
No, it doesn't work like that.
No.
I got an answer, so it
Yeah.
would be like,
The goddess has said all she cares to say. There is no safe way. No safest way. No safe way.
crap, looks like we're not getting groceries today, guys.
Oh,
Well, the only thing I can think of now is we need to get more information and devise our own way then.
Well, how about we just walk up to the front door first?
We can do some scouting. Lily, if you want to help me out, we can maybe work out more of what this dragon orb does while we're here.
I would be glad to. I think we should also try and figure out a little bit more about what's going on and see if there's a way to mitigate. If there's a way to make us blind to these incorporeal creatures. I think that is necessary.
I think we already are. I think that's the
Yeah, I
problem.
think the other way around.
I mean, blind to them, not them like
Invisible to them.
There we
make
go.
them unable to perceive us.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Yes. I'm not concerned about not seeing them, actually, rather the opposite. I'm very concerned about them. So, we need more information. We need to find some way to hide ourselves from their gaze. So yes, Davynn, I will absolutely help you research that orb, but we also need to devote some time and effort to figuring out how we're supposed to get there.
So what do you guys choose to do?
I'm not even sure what Lily's proposing. Like, what are the options as far as research goes?
Slim.
If we can't find any resource that has more information on Gersheld Stone, then we'll have to conduct some tests, actually.
Okay, how about that's the second option? How about the first one is we just try to get in, see what happens. If that doesn't work, then we'll sort of...
How is that any better than my plan? You would
Because
have
my
us use
plan is
ourselves as
faster.
Yeah.
You would have us use ourselves as test subjects, ripped limb from limb. Xylund.
Possibly, or we're the key, like Nisali said.
It is worth a shot.
And if we all die in the attempt, then how are we supposed to help anyone?
Yeah, but
We can try.
I get that
but
you're kind of a bookish type, but we're not going to get anywhere just backing off and sticking our nose in a book. That's escapist. We got to deal with this. This shit has gone on long enough, and if we're the key, then we got to try to stick ourselves in the lock. Davynn knows what I'm talking about. Right, Davynn? About keys and locks and that?
Yeah, kinda.
That was a phallic reference.
Oh, okay. Yeah, kinda.
Well, you're not wrong, Xylund. This isn't escapism. This is trying to figure out if, like, we might be the key, but it could be a metaphorical key, as in we will have the solution, not we will be ignored by all the things that have been murdering people while we approach a lockdown castle that possibly has a highly powered will worker inside of it.
Right. Okay. Well, I would offer to be the test subject, but I'm pretty sure that I, by myself, would get ripped limb from limb because I think Davynn and his orb are the key.
Yeah.
So, Davynn, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to give it a shot going up to the gates, or do you want to back off and read books?
That's a pretty big responsibility that you're piling on me right now.
Well, I mean, I'm going to go with you if you go up to the gates, obviously.
Well, yeah, that's the worst part, is that your life might be on the line too.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that.
Would you prefer?
I am very worried about that.
Would you prefer to look into the orb a bit more first, Davynn, to see if we can't see if there is any function that could actually help?
I would, yes. But
All right.
also, I get what he means, because we can't, one way or another, we're not going to be able to know if we are the key in the way he says, which I think might be the case. I'm not sure, I don't know why, it's just a feeling, until we try it.
You should put your faith in Nisali, I would say.
I also know that people often speak in metaphor, but whatever it is that you all decide to do, I will acquiesce. I just strongly advise caution. We do no good to anybody if we get killed.
Kat, if we go too far, how far do you think we can go before, if things get too dangerous, can we pull out in time?
I don't know.
Look, if just the boy and I go first, I can make sure he gets back safely without any scratches at all. And I don't just mean because I'm a tough little dwarf. I got a trick or two up my sleeve to make sure that neither he nor his little magic rock get in trouble from invisible wee nasties.
If we go, which I personally think we should do it together. Because Kern's got his get out of jail free.
Word of recall?
If shit goes really south.
Yeah, I think we should all go together. I mean,
Okay.
Clearly,
Then
I'm
let's go.
outnumbered here.
Is that what you've decided to do? Go forward?
We'll go forward as far as we can, and if it turns out that's too dangerous, we'll try to pull back.
Kern,
Wait, how many people do
can
we
you
have to leave behind for this to work?
You can only transport you.
For what?
The word of recall will only cover the party. If Cat
word
comes
of-
with you, it won't cover Cat.
Hold on, let me.
What about Gayle?
It won't cover Gayle either, because I think it only covers 6.
You and 5 willing creatures.
Well, I'll take Gayle instead of me, and I'll stay behind to protect Cat, or to keep her. See her
The
to
Cat's
safety.
coming with you.
No, I mean if it comes to a word of recall situation. Take Gayle, leave me. Did I misunderstand?
No.
Okay.
This is... I do not like this plan, but apparently I'm outnumbered. So... What do you think? Kern, you haven't really spoken at all on this.
Came here to figure out what was going on. I think we all knew that we might not come back.
And
I mean, I'm not saying don't be cautious, but what's the point of coming in here and doing all this stuff if we're just gonna not do it when we have the chance
and
to?
the best way to figure out what's going on is to see it firsthand, I think.
Yeah.
I think you all misunderstand my proposal, but very well.
So Cat stands. Elf in the robe stands. Stanley stays seated. So we're going?
Carefully, but yeah.
Well then, let's go. Ignore everything you hear. Everything. It's not real. Okay?
That's not ominous at all.
Hey, Kern? Hey, Kern?
Yeah?
If it looks like I'm being brain controlled in any sort of way, please slap me.
Okay.
We haven't really had a chance to practice that yet.
Back to plan, I'll turn you into an opossum.
Hey, Mooshnik, I think I'm gonna need some mushrooms for this. Do you got anything?
You know I do.
Thanks, buddy.
Look, I'll brew up a nice tea, and everyone can have some. And look, you'll be seeing things no one else can see, and doing things no one else can do.
Exactly what's needed.
I assume...
No.
But
Yeah, I
that's the
assume-
problem, isn't it? We got invisible nasties. We can see them.
I assume that you were able to listen in on our mental conversation back in your office.
I've been listening to you since you hit the gate.
Then I assume you can
Condolences.
also participate as well?
Not without your permission, but yeah.
Well, you have mine.
Thank
mine.
you, Cat.
I think it would be advisable if we could go as much as possible, as quietly as possible.
It's not a bad plan. But again, just... yeah.
I will have to refresh it, however. It's starting to approach the limits of its shelf life, actually.
Oh, well then, don't bother.
We could just use Cat, yeah.
Yeah, please, let's use Cat.
I mean,
No,
Getting mixed
I know,
messages here.
I know what you meant. It's fine.
sorry.
It's fine, but it's not fine.
Yeah, it was very clearly not fine, judging from the look on her face. But she is capable of setting up a similar telepathic link, except hers is a little larger. So it includes you, herself, Gayle, and her helper, her gift.
Well, if you
Well,
don't
Stanley.
mind.
No, Stanley is not included.
He's also not. Thank you.
Get Stanley later.
All right, so it looks like Xylund is steeled up. You guys have your link.
Yep.
So you can talk to one another. And it works the same way that Lily's does. So you can pinpoint who you want to talk to, but Cat can always hear you. You're never able to shut Cat out, but you can otherwise selectively message one another if you wish.
Wait,
So-
can we like selectively ignore people too?
No, unfortunately not.
You'd like
And-
that,
and-
wouldn't you?
Oh.
But can you
I
selectively
would like to
shut
try to
someone out?
target. I would like to try to target the elf that's traveling with us, just to figure out what their voice is like and all that.
Okay.
To say, hello. Didn't really get a chance to chat because you don't do that, but just wanted to say hi and thank you for coming with us.
And she does respond, and her voice is very soft and very light and kind of high. But she assures you that it's no problem.
Just to be clear, what is it that you can do for us right now? You can see the invisible things?
No, but I can light the way.
Okay, that sounds like a reasonable thing. Probably. Thanks.
And so, as you kind of cluster yourself together, the elf adjusts her staff, sets a crystal into the crook of the top of it, and Cat sort of motions for you to head outside. And the crew, as you shamble along, the crystal itself begins to glow a little bit and casts what little light there is. It actually cuts through the fog slightly. And it gives a minor sort of fairy fire effect to the things that you pass. So you can see the outline of the stones and the individual planks of the door have all been outlined in this very light, almost violet type of light as you pass through. So it's a little spark of guidance as you cut through the fog. You make your way down the alleyway that Baronhold sits upon, past the oak tree, into the main area of the old city.
I give the oak tree a wide berth.
But you make your way into the main plaza of the old city. And you can see the spires of Keracht in the distance, so you know you're going in the right direction. Cat's very silent, both mentally and vocally, as is her compatriot. But the further you get, the deeper you get into the city, the more the mists start to close in around you, and the bubble of fairy fire and guiding light seems to draw in closer until it's just surrounding you. It doesn't cast quite such a wide berth anymore. You can smell smoke to the point where it burns the inside of your mouth and nose. And you start to hear phantom sounds in the distance. Sound like you're listening through a velvet shroud. Bells tolling and people shouting and the snap of wood. And other not quite so ominous sounds as well. The sounds of a market, the sounds of a gathering of people, the sounds of street musicians, all sort of wavery and underwater and distant and yet right next to you all at the same time. Sometimes it feels like it's physical, and sometimes it feels like it's echoing in the back of your skull, and you're never quite sure where the next sound is going to come from.
I tell Vera to fly with, stay within 100 feet, but just fly in the area and to alert us if something physical is approaching at all.
Alrighty.
I'm going to reach out and grab Kern's hand, just as a reminder of what's real.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same for Lana.
Okay.
And I'm gonna grab Lana's hand as well, so that we're linking up.
I have no hands.
You can hold my hand if you want, Gayle.
That hold in your hand.
Can we make a hand-holding line, please?
can hear Gayle sigh.
Both
As
physically
everybody holds
and
hands.
mentally.
Yep. Everyone holds hands. Yeah, I was gonna say, who tries to hold Cat's hand, because that's could be entertaining.
If I had any, I would. Someone else has to try this.
I'll try. Cat, give me your hand.
What?
You need comfort in the fog.
I'd ask if you were high, but I knew the answer.
Yeah, I'm high.
Alright, just this once so you don't get lost.
I say in my mind, she's holding my hand. Oh wait, shit, she can hear this.
So our line of brave souls clinging to one another, all holding hands, make their way through the shrouded steps and streets of Greylock. The sounds outside seem to be pressing closer. They are getting louder. And Cat does, again, telepathically communicate very calmly. Not to trust anything you hear. Not to run off, no matter what it might sound like. There is nobody here. And even as she finishes that statement and the words sort of leave your head, you can hear the sound of voices crying out for help. Screams of fire and screams of thief that just bounce against your skull, seeming to come from everywhere and absolutely nowhere. Just blood-curdling screams. People in real terror, banking off the fog. As you get to the very, very edges of the Maiden's Walk, which is the large stone section directly in front of Keracht, all that sound falls away. All goes silent. And instead, what pierces the momentary calm is a bone-chilling, knee-rattling roar from up above. That dragon's roar. That deep-throated, just terror-inducing roar from something very large and very angry directly above you.
Oh,
I think I look up.
You look up and all you see is more mist. At this point, what had started as around your knee as you've pressed on through the streets has climbed higher and higher to about waist height. And as you draw yourself across the walk, it hits to about mid-chest.
Well, Mooshnik's underneath.
Yeah, I'd say Mooshnik is probably just eyes at this point.
I'm gonna send a quick message up to Kat and ask, should I use daylight? That's usually helpful with mist. I just want to make sure that won't end up causing issues.
She responds back, daylight won't work. We've tried.
Okay.
Nothing
Actually, yeah, that
pierces
makes
the
sense.
fog. We can't get it to go away.
I don't-
And, yeah. As we're here.
I really don't like this.
We're here?
But as you stand in a row, the slight elf in her druid garb, we don't know whose hand she's been holding. Probably nobody's.
Oh.
Lily would if she
Would've brought her
if
in.
she was the only one left out, Lily would have taken her hand.
Steps forward, taps her staff on the ground, and she is able to blow away a little bit of the mist. Just a little. So you can see each other clearly again, like full body. You can see all the way down to everybody's feet, which you haven't been able to for a while. And now that she has sort of pushed it away, at least to the far corners, you can see the outlines of the massive, heavy ironwood doors of Castle Keracht that are indeed shut. And the steps leading up to them. And
Oh no.
I knew this was a bad idea.
Hooray!
It's fine.
Hey,
The map
it's a
was
battle
prepared.
map.
That means it was destiny.
This is
To
No,
visual
it
aid.
means,
a
it
visual
means that,
aid.
Sure. Should we not
means
put our
that Erie
tiles on the
knew that we
visual aid
probably
then?
would be this stupid. It doesn't mean destiny. It means she planned for the possibility that we would do this.
Feel
Guys, we're
free
in
to-
we're in a line. We're in the line that we wanted to be in.
Yep.
Yeah, feel free to place yourselves on the board.
For better or for worse.
Davynn's holding Kern's hand,
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
and
And then we know
also
Xylund's got
Lily's
Kern's
and also
other hand.
Where's Cat?
no, Davynn has Lana and Kern,
And then Kern
and-
has Davynn and Xylund.
and
Obviously.
Lana obviously has Lily and Davynn. Gayle has Mooshnik.
Here, I'll move you guys back.
Oh god.
All right.
And I have the elf.
There
and I
we
have
go.
the elf girl.
There we go.
So Gayle
Every-
did take my hand?
Yes. We'll have Gayle take your other hand.
Hey, I knew he loved me.
And I have the elf girl on my other side. If she
Alright,
gets
well, the elf
Mooshnik.
girl is
not happy with whose
standing
hands he's holding.
here. She's
Oh, no.
actually walked ahead of you in order to sort of illuminate this area for you, so that you can see a little bit better. I don't think I loaded her up. I did not. So this will be
She
her.
doesn't get a picture, guys. That means she's a red shirt.
It just means I
Hooray!
forgot. I have a picture of her. I just forgot to load it.
No.
But yeah, dragon breath attacks are awesome, especially from on high.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sure we'll be fine.
I see
One-
nothing that could go wrong with this.
Just want it on the record that Lily was opposed to this from the get-go.
Sometimes you have to die to succeed.
Yep.
That's true.
No!
That's
Sometimes
science.
if you all died, the campaign's over.
Nah, we're gonna be fine.
I've got mass cure wounds prepared. It'll be fine.
So do I.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Instant KO, instant party wipe. That's the worst that could happen.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
We're
we're good. We're
heroes.
good.
We're basically gods.
Yeah,
Even
basically.
Yeah, actually, no. The worst thing is the creepy wool worker enslaves all of us, and then our new party has to fight us and the wool worker.
That would be fun, though.
That would be fun.
Anyway, is there a
Anyway.
reason why we're all on the map, or is everything still fine?
You mean the visual aid?
Yes, that.
Why
Visual
is,
aid that's
why
a
is
battle
Erie
map.
on the map?
Eric?
Yeah.
Entirely, completely not an ulteriorly motivated question. Since we're all in a hand-holding line, can we get inspiration?
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
The power of friendship will prevail.
Yay.
You can all have
Could give
inspiration.
first in the mouth on this one. I'll just take it.
Yeah, you can have it because it's my birthday weekend.
Hooray!
That's your present. Have some inspiration because, good lord, are you gonna need it?
oh no!
Told you.
All right. Pay attention. Because I'm only gonna say this once. So yes, as you stand in your line, your hand-holding line, feeling newly inspired, as your druidic friend pushes the mist back as far as she can, sort of laying bare the stonework floors of the Maiden's Walk and the massive ironwood doors of Karacht, firmly shut. Cat, Xylund would definitely know his cat is very fidgety. She is decidedly not her calm, collective self. She is fairly twitchy at the moment, You can almost feel her sort of shifting her weight from foot to foot as she stands next to you.
Mooshnik, we need some detail.
Obligatory eye color check.
Or
what?
maybe she's fidgety because she's seen
Obligatory
2 score of her
eye color
men
check.
get ripped apart here.
What
I don't know
color
about
are you
you.
looking for?
Not cat's eyes.
Green.
Her
I don't
eyes
know
are
about-
green.
Shit.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but if I saw 2 score of my men ripped apart by things I couldn't even see in this very location, I'd be a little fidgety too.
That's fair. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, standing in front of this scene, the druid turns around to look at the crew, looking fairly pleased with herself at what she's managed to accomplish. Xylund, make a perception check.
I succeed.
And that's when she dies.
Oh, for fuck.
I don't think you succeeded.
No. Make an athletics check while I roll this.
Cat, come on.
Oof.
Haha.
Okay. As you are holding onto Kat's hand, she is basically lifted off of the ground as if someone punched her in the stomach. All the wind just sort of leaves her at once, and she's pushed back about 5 feet. You're still hanging onto her hand, so it sort of whips you back as well. You're still on your feet and everything, but you manage to hang on to her as whatever is just sort of like full on, just Rochambeau's just. You don't see it. The mist itself never even moves. It's still that same lazy, curling mist that's been here the whole time. But Kat felt it. As the breath leaves her all at once. And just the only reason she's still on her feet is because you've got a hold on her.
I'll let go of Gale's hand and draw my mace.
Alright. So you're still holding Kat's hand?
Yeah, I'll switch hands so that I'm, holding her with my left hand and drawing my mace with my right.
Okay. And she kind of catches her breath a little bit, and as you look at her, her nose starts to bleed.
You alright there?
No.
You want some tea?
No.
Let's get to the door. Let's get to the door and let's try this first, and then we can go if it's not working.
Alright, so everyone drops hands, takes 1 square of movement. And
And then everything turns black.
What?
Huh?
Hang on.
This is gonna be like the Lavos fight. It's gonna be suddenly stars and dead.
Guys.
Lavos fight.
Guys.
What are those things?
Fine.
I don't know why it set everything to dark.
Can we actually see these things?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's a positive, right?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
better. It's better than what Kat said happened to them last time. Last time they couldn't even see them.
Alright. I don't know why it's doing that. That's so weird. But you
For
guys
the
can see, right?
Yeah,
we can
it's
see
for
the things.
We
and
can't
also
see the
the
ground.
castle.
We can see the door
That's-
and the things, which is perfect for the ambiance.
I
Yeah.
think perhaps. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I just misclicked on the background. There we go.
That'd
All
have been
right.
pretty cool if it just like went.
Yeah, if you guys just fell away and you were in space. Yeah, just wait. I have been working on this last area for months, so.
Oh.
you have
That's a good sign.
So
no
it'll be such a
idea.
shame if we die here on the doorsteps, right?
Yeah, don't die on the doorstep, but yeah. So as you were saying there, you get 1 square of movement, forward or back, your choice. And as you watch, the mist coalesces into figures of soldiers, very clearly knights. men of swords and shields, helmets and plate that were not there a moment ago.
Are we talking Argent Order symbology?
If they have any sort of symbology, you don't see it. It's either not something you recognize or it's not something you can see very clearly. They are still fairly hazy. You can still see the door through them. They're not entirely corporeal.
Hopefully corporeal enough to hit.
What would you like to do?
Lightning bolt!
Wait, have they not moved?
They have coalesced into being, but they have not moved. They are talking, but at the moment it is a very low murmur. Not much different than sort of the outside babble that you were hearing before.
Oh, geez, we're all running 8s. If I may, I'd like to draw weapons and step in front of the twins, cause squishy.
Okay.
Have they appeared to have noticed this yet?
They're all
I
facing
forgot to put myself on
forward.
the tracker, but I'm taking that.
Okay.
Liliscea.
Where are you? This is you? Okay, cool.
If I can
Good.
get a lightning bolt off before Davynn steps in front of us, in front of me, I will.
Is everyone on the tracker at the moment?
Think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, they appear to be speaking, but you're getting sort of a low babble of language instead of anything clear. And Kat's voice sort of cuts through, loud and clear, and she says, "They think we're Sahagin."
Is that good or bad?
Very bad.
Yeah.
Those are the shark people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And generally killed on sight.
Sahagin used to raid Greylock hundreds of years ago.
And I'm starting to really like my Gescholt Stone theory.
So?
Well, we're not. Can we convince them otherwise?
No, they're memories.
What's the opposite of a shark sound?
A dolphin sounds!
A dog!
Yes! Everyone do dolphin sounds.
No!
Listen, they are memories. We're just placeholders for probably some assault they repelled.
I mean, if I summon a couple images of Sahagin, maybe we can make them move away.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think it
I'm
will play.
spitballing.
I think
It is
will
also your turn, Lana.
Oh! Okay. Does anyone want to be a T-Rex? No takers? Fine.
Maybe after I get off of haste.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's an image.
We can be T-Rexes, right, Yuri?
No. We had
It
this
has already been
discussion
established.
before.
Well, here's the thing. There's been one small development, and in the spirit of your birthday, I would like to ask you to grant me one attempt to convince you. Just one. If this doesn't work, nothing will.
Oh, Lord. Kern on a T-Rex. Oh, Lord. Shirtless Kern on a T-Rex.
Erie can only allow it if Kern is shirtless for it.
That is true. That is true.
That's
Give
All
it
right.
10 minutes to get my armor off.
Yeah.
We're saving this.
All right. Well, okay. Today and today only, we can do shirtless Kern on a T-Rex. That's it.
We don't have to do it now. Or if you're granting it today, I'll take it today.
It's today only. Only this
Gotcha.
fight.
All right.
Just this fight, we could do shirtless Kern on a T-Rex. But that's it. Don't ask
Just,
again.
just because it's shirtless Kern on a T-Rex.
I was specifically told to wait by
Yes.
Davynn, though.
So you have a turn. Feel free
Yeah,
to take it.
I'm gonna back up because I don't like dying.
Mhm.
Never been a fan. And I'm gonna hold a polymorph until after Davynn's gone.
Okay.
Oh, and
Man,
inspiration to Davin as well.
Okay.
Whee!
It's gonna be it's a bit of a flashback to the old thunder and lightning combo, isn't it?
It's gonna be great. Yeah. I'm
Oh,
No
it's gonna
way.
be
looking forward to
awful.
this.
Oh, good.
All right.
Good music.
It was gonna be more epic before we got into the shirtless Kern on a T-Rex section of
Sorry.
the day, and now this is the only thing that's acceptable. Okay, so Lana has gone. It is Mooshnik.
Should we strike first? Should we just be nice and say hello?
Make
Hello
dolphin
there.
sounds. And
Strike
dolphin.
first!
Oh,
Attack!
if you say so. And with that, Mooshnik will cast. Where's it? There's a good one. Yes, that's definitely the one I'm going to use.
All
We
right.
can even if we can even kill these things.
Chill touch.
I'm going to cast that one on this guy.
All right, go ahead.
All right, and there it is.
Ooh. All right. Wait a minute. He takes a die 8.
Well, that's a 10 to hit, AC.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yes, that will hit.
Woohoo!
That's 4. All right. Excuse me.
And I
puppy
sure hope
dog.
he's undead and not just like the
He
an
is
afterimage.
not.
Bam!
Unfortunately. So your spell goes off and hits that dude in the shoulder, sort of ripples out through the mist before it all sort of closes back in on itself again. But now he's looking directly at you.
I hope you know what you're talking about, lads, because now he's mad at me.
All right, let's run.
Silent.
Yeah.
So they still haven't done anything.
They haven't moved.
Do they
Is
look
it-
like they are about to do something?
Yeah.
They are definitely in a defensive position. They have swords drawn. They have shields in front of them in a defensive position. They have yet to move, but they don't look very pleasant.
I'm
Yeah, I
gonna.
imagine if we move any farther forward, they attack.
Well, I'm gonna move here, drawing my shield. Stop there. Hold my attack if one of them comes within range and looks like they're going to. Pretty much if anyone gets aggressive, I'm going to attack them if they come within range.
Okay.
And I'm going to make dolphin sounds.
Performance check, please.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's passable dolphin.
Does he seem moved by my extending of dolphin friendship?
He he does not seem to be moved by your extension of dolphin friendship.
Amazing.
No.
That's rude.
No.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is why dolphins are the sworn enemies of sharks.
David, go ahead.
Also, wow, that's a version.
Yeah, that is lovely.
I'm gonna cautiously step forward and try to walk past, waiting for a reaction
From this guy?
from any of the guys.
Back on my thing here. They follow your movement, and they are talking amongst themselves. They do not seem to be happy with you, but they haven't moved.
And get to the door if I can.
Okay, so you're getting close to this one.
Yeah, well, I take the diagonal here, so I'm trying to
Okay.
stay out of range of all of them.
All right.
So yeah,
Okay.
I get to the door, and I'm like waiting to see if any of them react to this in an aggressive way.
Oh yeah. They all basically
yeah.
turn to look. And that low murmur of conversation becomes a bit of a roar. It sounds almost like a waterfall next to your ear. Just voices overlapping, mixed with wind.
Okay. Guys, I think we're fighting these guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn you into a dinosaur, so decide what you're gonna do. Because you're gonna get
Hey,
jumped by 5
Xylund.
of them.
How fast do you want to go?
Oh, as fast as I can.
Then we're going fast.
Yeah.
And that's getting twinned.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
And because he's about to get jumped by 5 people. Davynn now a T-Rex.
Yeah. Okay. So, Davynn, you are a hasty
Wait.
T-Rex.
And I'm gonna run back over here for Kern. With my haste action.
I apologize for everything.
Alright, so Davynn is a hasted T-Rex. Xylund, you are just hasted. Lily, it is your go.
So I've been under no illusions of what was going on here, so I'm going to throw a lightning bolt. On this line here.
Okay.
And they need to make me a dex save. 17.
Okay.
Because maxed intelligence.
Okay.
So I actually call lightning from the sky. It electrocutes me and I throw it forward.
Sure.
Passing the pain on down.
So the lightning bolt courses through this line, and again seems to have the same sort of effect as Mooshnik's chill touch, in that it temporarily blows a hole in their chest, and then the mist just sort of wraps back around it.
I really, really don't like this. And I am going to move all the way back there.
All right, Kern.
all
What
of
are
a
you gonna do?
sudden, Kern's armor just falls off.
Yes. Spontaneously clattering to the ground.
So my
There's some
AC
weird mind
is
stuff
now
going
reduced
on.
down to 12
Yes.
from 20.
My AC is 13, by the way, Erie.
Okay.
And I will use my movement to jump onto Davynn's back.
Okay.
And
All right. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
Is that an action to do all that stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, your armor's coming off and you're climbing up on Davynn, but you can have your bonus if you want.
I don't know if I have any bonus action stuff.
You can have your hair blow
Sanctuary?
sexily in the wind. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sanctuary, I think
I'll
it's a
do-
bonus action, but
I think I don't have Sanctuary prepared for today, so I don't have
That's
any bonus
legit.
action spells, so
spiritual weapon.
no, I don't have that prepared either because I had to give it up for someone else.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay.
I spend my turn getting sexy.
All right. Karen has been sexified. Now it's their turn.
I'm a T-Rex.
Yeah, you're a T-Rex. What's your AC as a T-Rex?
Low.
13.
Oh, hey, we match.
You're a hasted T-Rex, so it's 15.
Yeah, 15.
Okay.
Hey, we don't match.
Alrighty. What's your AC? Hasted Xylund?
Actually, with my shield, it's 22.
That'll hit.
Oh, come on.
He rolled an 18. Not much damage though. It's 10
10 what?
force.
Ow.
That means he gets his attack now, right?
Oh, yeah. On this guy?
Yep.
Okay, I'll whap him with my mace. Oops, wrong thing. Do I get both my attacks then, or since I'm hasted?
If you're using it as well, you're holding your action, so yeah, you would get both.
Well, could I, instead of, like I know I said I was holding it to attack, but could I use one action to cast magic weapon and another to attack?
You weren't hasted then.
When
You
I
were
hailed...
hasted on my turn,
Yeah.
which is after yours.
Okay. But my turn is now happening after your turn. Sort of.
No, this is the reaction that you were holding.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
So you
does
just
that
suck. It hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. Your mace seems to pass directly through this dude.
Hey, I just realized, are there any windows in this castle?
Not in the front, or they're so high up that you wouldn't be able to get to them.
Because one of these pearls on my bracelet is Windwalk.
Yes,
Which-
it is.
Turns up to 10 willing creatures into gas for 8 hours.
You
Yeah,
also
that-
can't drop it. So if they still maul us, we will
No,
die.
you can drop it. It
Oh,
just takes a minute.
I
You
don't-
take him. You
It
can take a
takes
minute.
a
to
minute.
change.
I
Yeah,
just
but
mean-
you also can't take damage while in that form.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
just
can.
hang
I
on. I'm not
believe
saying
you
I'm going to
can,
do
and
it right
Crit
this
Roll found
second.
this out the hard way. Yep, you sure can.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, well.
Assuming there is no barrier. Yeah, you have Windwalk.
Okay.
You actually have a lot of good spells on that bracelet.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking at it.
All right. So first,
resistance to damage. Oh, I mean, but we can also fly away, so.
Might be.
That'll hit.
No, attack the T-Rex. Even as a T-Rex, nobody pays attention to me.
Hey, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Full blow onto the Druidess, who takes a see-through sword to the gut. Definitely feels it. Still standing though.
Whoops.
Let's try and keep our magical guide alive, people.
We'll see if she's still alive in another couple of ghosts.
Let's see. You
Well, two of them
roll.
should be focused on me, seeing as I just shot him with lightning.
There's also a T-Rex.
Yeah.
With a hottie on its back.
Yes.
Which is the real reason why they're focusing on Davynn, is because, you know, naked shirtless
That's a
Really
girl.
gets
hit,
the turn.
Davynn. Oh,
Alright.
that's shit damage though. It's only 3 force damage.
Oh shoot, you're down to 133 hit points now.
I know, I know. 10, 20. Wow. That's a whiff. Boo. Okay. So there we go. So we will have Cat go 2 and put out a hand and use a nice crit. Thank you, Cat. Cat puts out a hand and knocks these 2 a-holes back 10 feet off of Xylund.
Nice. Oh, do I get an opportunity? No, I don't. Never mind.
Yeah, it's the next round. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, if you want to take a reaction on one of them, you certainly can.
I'm not sure if there's a point, but sure, I'll swing.
That technically connects. Alright. That passes through. Gayle takes his opportunity to heal Druidess. PDQ.
All right. There's a reason why we drag Gayle everywhere.
Oh, I will roll healing word for her. Okay. And we're back to Lana.
Is she still look hurt?
Is she what?
Does she still look hurt?
Oh, the Druidess? She
Yeah.
looks okay, but it's also hard to see because there's a T-Rex.
That is fair. I wonder whose fault that was. Anyway,
I'm waiting for this T-Rex to go ham, by the way. I'm
I
really
don't think it can hurt them, but I don't regret it. I'm gonna try to get this guy off her.
Okay. Okay. DC 17. Oh wait, that's psychic damage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoops. It does have an effect where it's forced to move, but I assume if it's immune to the damage, it's also immune to that.
Yeah. It's psychic doesn't seem to bother it too much.
That's fair. Kern, you want an inspiration die? You get an inspiration die.
Sure, I'll take
Mushnik.
inspiration.
Mooshnik
You can't
will
hurt things. You can't hurt
cast
things with
Shillelagh
psychic damage.
on
that's just
himself.
memories.
Or rather, on his shillelagh.
Shillelagh. The best.
And he will move there.
Technically, magic weapon would work.
T-Rex got
I'm just
magical
saying,
teeth.
this plan can get dumber.
Yes.
I have holy weapon.
And while my plan wasn't originally to just hit the bad guys, I'm here, so I might as well just try to hit the bad guy.
All right, hit the bad guy.
We're gonna hit the bad guy.
A pow. That will connect. Ooh. So you bring your shillelagh down on this dude in the back, and it actually visibly sparks as your quarterstaff connects. And he seems to notice that, as opposed to everything else that just happened. Yeah. So that definitely makes an impact. All right, Xylund.
Alright, I'm gonna cast a magic weapon on my mace.
Yep.
And then step up in here and whap the guy I already whapped.
All right, whap him. That'll definitely hit.
So that's 5, or how does magic weapon work?
It makes it a +1, I believe.
+1 of just bludgeoning?
Yeah, it doesn't change the weapon
Okay.
damage type. It just adds to it.
Alright, yeah. So 5 bludgeoning.
Okay. It was this guy?
That's the guy I hit before, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And he dissipates
Oh! Haha!
and seeps back into the mist. His top half going into the cloud bank that surrounds you, and the rest of him sort of sinking into the floor.
Take that, cloud bank.
Do you have an extra? Oh no, you. Well, do you have an extra attack?
I had an extra action which I used to cast magic weapon.
You have
Magic
Oh wait,
weapon's
no,
a
that was a
bonus.
bonus action.
But you
Okay.
get 2 attacks in general.
I thought-
don't you? You're a paladin.
Yeah, you should have an
Oh,
extra
yeah.
attack in general. Plus your.
you
That's
should have
true.
you should have 3 attacks this round.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll use my next 2 on this guy.
All right. That will connect. Those both connect actually.
Nice.
So
All right.
8.
So you just
15.
obliterate this dude.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like he's just literally smoke.
I don't think we needed a T-Rex.
Well, I mean,
We
still
as
got-
people did.
speaking of Davynn.
I'm gonna bite the guy in front of. I'm gonna bite the guy who's next to the druid and also next to me.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see if I can make this work.
Oh wow.
28 to hit and 29 damage if it does work.
You're just a T-Rex though.
For now.
Does it
He's
not
gonna
actually
upgrade
hit?
him.
So it would go through it, like you chomp down on this dude, and it looks like you bite him in half, but when you pull your head back, he just sort of reforms himself.
He is down to int 2, so.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm still not in too, so I'm just gonna keep on smacking these guys. So that one's the
Alright.
tail against the guy next to him.
So there's this T-Rex just going ham, and all of his attacks are just passing through these dudes.
I still don't regret it.
No, it's awesome.
And there's my hasted attack against the first dude.
So the hasted T-Rex is just going crazy.
Jeez, that 49 damage roll couldn't have gotten that in
I
the
know,
big
it's awesome.
guy or anything.
I'll let if it's 49 damage, okay. Pick a dude.
At that point, he's just eaten the mist.
Yeah, really, you've just pounded them back into the stone, I think, at this point.
I think it's
You've
just
like
the inhale
inhaled
between
him,
the bites.
and then
Yeah.
it's acid damage that's killed him.
Yeah, he swallowed the mist. He can't
Yeah.
reform.
I guess the guy next to the druid.
This dude?
Yep.
Alright. He's been overwhelmed by your T-Rexness. Which is awesome. Lily.
Yo,
Alright.
I just had a thought real quick. This combo should be called Sexy T-Rexy.
Yes!
The combo that will never happen again.
It's
get
gonna
more.
happen.
So,
I will make it happen again.
The lightning bolt didn't really work. Lily's experiment.
It seemed to affect them. Again, I mean, like they noticed it. Definitely.
It just wasn't the same as Xylund's magic weapon, where a couple of hits come down.
Well, he did more damage. And Cat also used force on them. So they took more hits.
So it was the combination of the two of them, because I was like, even if they saved, that's still 16 damage.
Yeah, it is, but Cat also walloped
Yeah,
the two
yeah,
that Xylund was
that-
fighting before he got a hold of him.
I didn't know what she did also did damage.
Yes.
So what Lily is now going to do is, what's her spell slots like? Yeah, you know what? Screw it. She's gonna do a 3rd level magic missile. See if force damage helps.
Again.
As far as
Well, I guess you can only see one.
well, could I not see this one as well through the T-Rex? I mean, he's a tall T-Rex.
Not through the T-Rex.
T-Rex is right here.
Between his
He's a-
legs.
He's
Yeah,
a
I can't see
T-Rex.
under his legs.
No, he's a T-Rex.
All right. Well, I was just thinking if he's technically a large creature. In that case, I'm only gonna do 1st level.
Okay.
Bitch. Oh, hey, that time it actually did it properly. So 12
Hooray.
damage
Okay.
to this one.
All right. So that will dissipate him.
Well, that one worked. And I am going to scooch around Gayle there to right here.
Okay.
We're right in front of a doors, right?
Yeah. The actual physical doors to the castle are right up here.
So maybe turning Davynn into a T-Rex wasn't like the complete
Hey!
total bad thing,
Alright.
because we can now use him to like
Battering ram.
battering ram the doors in.
You can,
Yeah.
indeed.
And if that
Um,
doesn't work, there's always knock.
However, I will not casting any big spells to turn his jaws into holy weapons of light and radiance.
No,
Not-
that would be
not yet.
awesome.
We'll save
Um,
that.
I will instead sacred flame the one over there.
Okay. That is a fail.
12 radiant.
Nice. Okay. All right. So we will have Cat do another lift to the hand. Move that dude. effectively ending him.
Hey, Lana, say hi to. Oh no, he's faded.
Cat's really cool, you guys.
And when it comes to force damage, Cat is handy. Now, she doesn't look all that awesome. Her nose is bleeding pretty badly. And she doesn't seem to be too steady on her feet. But she is able to sort of blast this last one into oblivion. So that he rejoins the mist. Gayle looks absolutely terrified. The young druid is doing everything she can to sort of keep her wits about her.
Lily looks like a combination of the two.
I look like a T-Rex.
Davynn is still a T-Rex, and you are now faced with the closed door of Karacht.
I'm not
Into
dropping
that door.
We get a full hour of this.
Yes.
I want into that door. I'm just gonna bash into it.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And
then
if
we
that
had a
doesn't-
hasted concussed T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah, a hasted T-Rex goes flying towards the castle steps, up against the wooden door.
At this point, it might be more effective to just go through the wall if they've sealed the door.
Throwing himself against it.
As we're doing that, I just say, somebody pick up my armor!
I'll do that, since this was my fault.
Kern holding on for dear life. Crimson hair streaming behind him most sexily. And as Davynn
As do I have
rams the
ti-
door, he splinters the wood, and momentarily, both Davynn and Kern, you feel a pushback. Like there's an invisible barrier beyond the physical wood. But you're able to sort of bubble your way through, almost. Like there's just that a momentary lack of oxygen. But you push through it, and even in your T-Rex form, Davynn, the dragon orb almost buzzes a little bit deep into whatever nether pocket a T-Rex has.
Oh yeah, it is currently inside T-Rex.
Yes, it is inside the T-Rex. So somewhere in your nethers, your dragon ball comes to life.
Beautiful.
As you push your way through, definitely make an athletics check because you are headed directly for a stone wall.
Michael just dropped from the channel.
Yeah.
Oh noes!
He timed out.
What awful timing.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna try knock, but I guess T-Rex works too.
The second level spell versus a T-Rex.
I mean,
We put way too many resources into this haste T-Rex, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yay.
Yes. So yes, as your dragon ball vibrates deep into the nethers of the T-Rex, you are
May I make
pushing
an
through the
athletics
door.
check for this door, please?
Please do make an athletics check for not only the door but the stone wall directly behind it that you are now heading full speed into.
I just want to point out that that's at a +5 above what it actually is.
Go ahead.
So yeah, 29.
Very nice. So you crash through, splintering the door. You go full speed into the massive stone wall behind it, this ancient stone wall that you also sort of indent and knock out the first 2 layers of. You don't go all the way through because it is pretty thick, but you definitely collapse the first 2 layers of this wall.
standing there watching that just happen, I turn to Kat and I'm just like, well, we got the door open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kat's not. I don't think she's sharing the same universe with the rest of you anymore. She looks a little wobbly.
Do you want
um,
to
Gayle,
heal
could
to
you-
the face? Yeah.
Gayle, could
I'm
you
gonna,
please
I'm gonna...
give her some healing?
Whoops! That is liched.
God, no. Come on, please, let us just fix your sheet.
They updated. Get out of here.
So the T-Rex, having made strides
What's that, Noel?
into
Your
Eight.
sheet's broken?
It's
Something wrong with your
8.
sheet there, Noel? It's not
I
working the way it
fixed
should?
it. Did you fix yours? I'm
Yes,
sure
yes,
you didn't.
Did your sheet need some fixing there and all? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh my lord. Our T-Rex has crashed his way into Karoct, being ridden by the sexy Kern. And it is at this ridiculous point in our increasingly ridiculous adventure that we will close for this episode and pick up our exploration of Karoct and its many wonders and horrors next time.
Yay.
That was fun. I am
That
so
was-
sorry and not sorry at all. Equal
That
measure.
was brilliant.
Real talk, I think Kern should have a feat that just lets him instantly disrobe no matter what he's wearing.
He really should,
Do you know
honestly.
how long I've been sitting on that image of Kern?
I think that should be a unique feat of his, like just instant Fabio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just instantly declothe.
Let's see.
Like-
Let's see when I have it. You know,
And what that should do, what that should give him is like a bonus to his charisma checks whenever he's talking to somebody.
That used
Like-
to be a feat. I'm trying to remember if it was 3.5 or what, but there was a feat that allowed you to take your to don and take off your armor quickly. I
Like-
don't remember what it was called, but that used to be a thing.
Could you imagine if he's like trying to either haggle with somebody or like convince them to let us through a gate or something, and they're not really
And he just
with it, and then
drops
he's
his armor.
Just strips.
he's like, "How about now?"
All right, so you guys made it to
Yeah.
the opening floor of Karoct. The next adventure should be fun and entertaining.
We've only
and
burned
I'm-
through most of our high levels.
Yeah, and there are no safe
We've got an
spaces.
hour on T-Rex still, although
Anymore.
haste will stop
Haste will
soon.
fade, but we'll still have an hour of T-Rex.
I'm sad that everyone's burned
2
through all their high
months.
levels already. I've
Mhm.
used 2 cantrips.
Nice.
Which is good.
Yeah.
So
I don't
I've
regret.
used
Backup healer.
I've used 4 spells, and none of them are none of them higher level than 3rd.
Oh, I've got a Pearl of Power, so I can bring back one of those polymorphs.
You do. Yep, you still have your Pearl of
Yay.
Power. And again, technically you do have some backup casters with you. You have the Druid, the Nameless Druid. You do have Gayle, who has some low level healing
So
and
we'll be
sanctuary
fine,
spells.
is what I'm
And you
hearing.
have Cat.
Who may or may
who
not
has
have
abilities.
concussed herself.
I don't think she was concussed. I think she was hit so
Hey.
hard in the stomach she has some internal hemorrhaging.
It's
That's
hard to tell.
worse.
Yeah.
Well, I gave
Cat.
her 8
Alright.
full hit points, so she'll be fine. That's how
Yeah.
D&D works.
We'll see
I
what
also got
happens
sorcery
next time.
points. I can recover more slots.
But it is almost 5, so
Oh.
we'll definitely break. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad you guys got this far. I'm really happy. The T-Rex thing was awesome, and I look
You don't
forward.
have to say that. I am so
No, it
sorry.
was. I was so happy. I was like, this is perfect. It's totally not the tone that I was going for with the opening of the door and everything, but I'll take it. I'll totally take it. It was awesome.
Yeah, and
Uh,
if we
You can
ever
kill us
find,
later.
and if we ever find a place for a short rest, I have arcane recovery too.
I
I'm
will pull.
telling you right now, there is no place for a rest inside Castle Cara.
Oh,
That's
wow.
it.
so we
This
can
is
do
it.
it outside of Castle.
So
No.
question, do we get double
This is it.
inspiration for pulling off the T-Rex thing?
That seems
I
rich,
warned you. I warned you.